So one day, my homie Arsenio, aka Memphis, he come to me. He like, hey Dante, man, hey, I need for you to do me a favor. I'm like, what's up? Now, y'all, we on the block at this time, and I'm like, what's up? He like, man, walk me over here. I don't want everybody in my business. So I'm like, what's good? He like, man, I think my girl cheating on me. I said, what? He was like, yeah, I think Kim cheating on me. I was like, why do you think that? He was like, man, bruh, I ain't gonna lie, man. It's like she don't feel the same inside. I said, what you mean by that? He was like, man, bro, I've been with this woman for 5 years, bro. She don't feel the same inside. Like, oh, okay. Now I know y'all wonder, like, hold up, Dante. What is going on here? Is we talking about a prison story or what? No, y'all. I'm giving y'all two stories in one. This is how Memphis ended up getting locked up. I'm telling y'all what happened on the streets, and then I'm gonna tell y'all what happened when he got locked up, right? When he was in prison. So let me take y'all back to the hood. This was back in maybe 98, 99. Yeah, around 98, 99. Right around when that Y2K stuff started coming out, when it was talking about the end of the world was going to happen in the year 2000, and people was panicking and all that stuff. Y'all remember that? Yeah, this was around that time. So anyway, we at the park. It's me and all the homies, right? We all out there. And like I said, in the beginning, my homeboy Memphis, he pulled me to the side. He like, hey man, Dante, I need to talk to you, man. So, he tell me like, yo, I think my girl cheating on me, and, my only evidence is she just don't feel the same inside. So I'm like, that's it? He was like, man, bro, trust me, it's something different, right? Now, I'm like, so what's up? What you want to do? He like, look, I need for you to try to holler at her. I said, what? No, I ain't about to do that. He was like, no, bruh. No, I really need for you to holler at her because I want to see what she go for it. I was like, man, dog, I got a girl, man. I'm not about to. He like, no, man, it ain't like that. I just want to see, would she go for it? I'm like, all right, man, what you want me to do? He was like, look, I'm gonna have you over, right? And we gonna be playing a game, and I'm gonna go to the store and leave y'all there, and then you just try to get at her. I'm like, man, I don't know about that, bruh. Now, let's put a pause right there. Look, y'all, I ain't saying that I'm the finest motherfucker in the world. I'm not saying that. But the only reason why I might be number two of the finest man in the world is because I didn't make number one. And that's a fact. But anyway, so let's get back to the story. Man, y'all hit the like button for your big partner Dante one time, y'all. Anyway, so I'm like, all right, so when we gonna do this? It was like, well, she about to get off of work, so let's just go to the crib now or whatever. So I'm like, all right. So I go to Al, Homicide, Torty, Terrell, all my homies, right? Like, we dap it up. All right, y'all. I catch y'all there. Everybody showing everybody homie love. All right, we out, right? So me and Memphis, we peel off, right? So we get to his house now. Memphis and Kim stay in a duplex, right? They stayed upstairs, and somebody stayed downstairs, whatever. So we go in there. It was like a little nice little apartment, one bed apartment, one bathroom, living room, kitchen, that little setup. It wasn't big, but it was enough for them, right? So we get in there, right? And we get to playing Madden. I'm whooping him out. I always played with the Patriots at this time, right? And he played with the San Francisco 49ers. I'm whooping him out, right? So about 15 minutes go by and Kim walk in. Now, I'm going to describe Kim for y'all, okay? Just to give y'all a visualization of what Kim looked like. Kim is maybe about 5'4", 5'5". she kind of on the thicker side, like, uh, she's probably about 180, 190. She not fat, but she's like fat and thick at the same time. So she like, "What's up, Memphis? What's up, Dante?" I said, "What's up, Kim?" She was like, "Man, I am hungry." Right? So she go to the refrigerator, and I guess they had some KFC from last night up in there, whatever. So she in there warming it up or whatever. So he looked at me like, "All right, I'm about to do it. I'm about to do it." So I'm like, "All right." So he was like, "Hey, Kim, you want something from the stove?" She was like, you can give me a Ohana lemonade." He was like, "I bet." She like, "Dante, you need something?" I said, "Yeah, yeah. Give me a Fago. Give me a you can give me a Ohana Fago too." So he like, "All right." So he wink at me and he leave. Right now, the way they duplex is situated, you can see him walking down the street, way down the street, right? So I'm sitting there and I'm just thinking to myself, like, man, should I do this? So I'm like, "Hey Kim, um, how was your day at work today?" She was like, "Yeah, it was cool. It was alright." I said, "Hey, how long you and Memphis been talking?" And she was like, "For a couple years. Why?" I said, "Man, nah, never mind." She was like, "What?" I said, "No, nothing, nothing." She was like, "No, what is it? Cause we might be thinking the same thing." So when she said that, that kind of threw me off. I instantly thought like, wait a minute, do she like me or something? Right? So I'm like, no, I don't want to talk about. I don't want to talk about. She was like, "No, I mean you already started. What is it?" Because I might be thinking the same thing too. So I'm like, well, I said, "Look, Kim, I know you and Memphis been talking for a long time, but you don't ever get bored with him." And she was like, "What you mean?" I was like, like sexually. She bust out and started laughing, right? And in my mind, I'm thinking like, "Oh man, yeah, she ain't going for it. She ain't going for it," cause she laughing, and she was like, "Dante, you wanna fuck me?" And I looked up, and I said, "What?" She was like, "You wanna fuck me?" I was like, "Yeah." And she was like, "Well, come on." Now when she said that, I'm like, is she serious? Is this a joke? Right? So I'm like, well, he about to come back from the stove any minute. And she was like, "Man, come on. We got about 12, 15 minutes." And he like to talk. He probably be talking to dudes at the stove, but we could do it right here by the window so we could see him coming down the street. So I'm like, I bet. So we end up messing around. Now, due to YouTube laws and regulations, I can't tell y'all exactly what we did, but just know it was going down right there in front of the window, but on the side, if that makes sense. Like if somebody was riding past, they couldn't see us, but the way we was facing, you can look down the street, right? Whatever. So I'm handling my business. When I say I'm handling business, I'm handling my business. You feel me? And I can see y'all right now in the comment section. "Oh, that's Cap Dante, man. Get out of here. You weren't handling the business and all this." Right. So I'm so into it, like I just I lose all control. Like and I know for the sake of the story time, I'm just gonna put it out there, y'all. I was wrong for what I did, and I'm gonna tell y'all why. Cause I didn't even use no protection. I didn't. See, back in them days, y'all, I was living real trifling. I was living real bold, real trifling. So as I'm doing what I'm doing, I done lost control. I don't want to hear no talk. I'm like really handling my business, right? To the point where I'm not even looking out the window no more to see is he coming or not. I'm like really into what I'm doing. So I don't know. I don't know because I was oblivious of the door opening or what. But Memphis walked right in. Memphis came up the stairs, opened the door, and walked right in. He was like, "What the fuck?" Right? And he threw the bag. It was like it was hard too. It was like, he had the two lemonades in there. He threw it wasn't a glass bottle, it was plastic bottles. He threw it at us like, "What the right?" And he ran and charged me. Like, keep in mind, y'all, my pants is down to my ankles, and I got my shirt on, but he threw it and it threw me off. And she like Memphis. Kim like Memphis, what are you doing? He like, "Oh hell no!" So he run and he charged me, right? And we get to wrestling. Now I'm trying to pull my pants up, right? And he punching me, and I'm trying to fight back, but my bridges is down to my ankles, right? So she hurry up and get up, put her pants up, and she run towards the kitchen like, "Memphis, stop! Memphis, stop! Y'all stop!" Right? And he hit me, and I'm kind of confused, cause I'm like, "Man, why is this dude hitting me?" Right? You told me to do this, right? So I finally, get my bearings, and now I'm fighting back, right? So we going at it, and I'm already tired, y'all. I'm tired for my prior excursion, right? So we fighting now, but he getting the best of me. So I don't now listen, y'all. I don't want to hear nothing in the comments saying, "Oh, Dante got whooped out." First of all, I ain't get whooped out. I did ball up at first because I was tired, right? So he hit me like boom, 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 right? So I mustered all the strength that I had, and I scooped him, lifted him up, boom, dropped him on his back, right? Then I took off, ran down the stairs, and I'm gone, right? So the next day, I'm at the park with the homies, right? And everybody talking about it. Excuse me, y'all. Everybody talking about it. Like, "Man, that's crazy, man. You killed, man. Hey, man, Memphis said he gonna beat you when he see you." Right? I'm like, "Man, I ain't trying to hear that." Because on the real, I ain't gonna say that I beat the dog crap out of Memphis, because Memphis did have hands, right? But like I said, the only reason why he got me yesterday, because I was already tired. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, he's like, "Man, Memphis said he gonna beat you what you kill and all this and that." So I ain't trying to hear none of that, right? So we end up playing basketball, and one of the homies was like, "Hey, oh shit, there go Memphis, right?" So we stopped playing basketball, and I'm ready, right? So he walks up, and he like, "What's up, D? What's up? What's up with it?" I'm like, "What's up with it? What up?" Right? So we square up, right? So we start going at it. Bam, bam, boom, boom, boom. Now, like I said, y'all, Memphis wasn't no chump. Memphis had hands, but I got hands too. Don't forget that, right? So we going at it. Bam, bam, boom, 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 bam, bam, right? So I end up scooping him again because he ended up getting the best of me, right? See, Memphis was throwing fast, and he hit hard too. So I'm not about to be walking around the hood with no black eye, no swollen face. So I done jumped back and I scooped him, right? So when I scooped him, I boofed him, I Bill Goldberg him, and he fell on the ground, right? And I just got I guess when he hit the ground, it knocked the wind out of him, and he like left his guard open. So I said, boom, boom, right? I hit him in the mouth. When I hit him in the mouth, my middle finger knuckle caught the middle of his tooth, right? And I knocked his tooth out of his mouth. And I stopped because blood just started going everywhere. And I'm not trying to, this is my dog. Then I know. But I know y'all like, man, hold on, Donta. If this your dog, why you doing this to him? Man, it's a fight. If we ain't enemies, I mean, what I supposed to do? He wasn't going to spare me. So, unfortunately, I knocked his tooth out of his mouth. And I stopped because he was bleeding and I felt bad. So then I bagged up, right? And he got up and he started spitting, spitting the blood on the floor. He was like, for real? For real? Straight up? Straight up? I bet. So then he walked off. Now, in the hood, when somebody say, I bet, or they say, I'll be back, you know what time it is. You know they going to go get something. And 9 times out of 10, that's a gun. But I know Memphis. I know Memphis ain't got no gun. Hell, he called me when he needed a strap. So I know he ain't going to get no gun. So I'm like, what? Now, Memphis is my dog, right? So if that was somebody else, like somebody I didn't know, and he say, I'm going to be back, depending on the severity of what just happened, I'm not letting you leave. I'm not letting you leave. I'm about to do something to you. So yeah, you think I'm just going to let you walk off after you told me that I'll be back when we just got done fighting? So that means you trying to up the ante. I done left a couple dudes behind abandoned houses that done said, all right, I'll be back. Right? Y'all hit that like button for y'all big partner. So anyway, so he's walking and I'm like, what? What you mean you'll be back? What you mean you'll be back? So he walking off the spitting, right? So I jog up next to him, and I'm like, what's up, Memphis? What's up? He said, man, you a H-A-N word. I said, for what you mean? He said, man, why the you Kim for? Why you do that, bruh? Why would you do that? I was like, you told me to. He said, no, I didn't. I said, trying to get at her, man. I ain't tell you the fucking dude. I said, well, she asked me. Sorry about that, y'all. She asked me, man. I'm like, she asked me, so I did it, but I thought that's what you said to do. He was like, no, man, I ain't tell you to do that, bruh. That's fucked up, man. We supposed to be homies, man. You supposed to be my dog. We supposed to be homies, and you gonna pull some shit like that, bruh. Wow, and then you gonna knock my motherfucking tooth out my mouth. Like, dog, what you own? What you own, dog? Like, man, man, we ain't friends. Man, look, Donta, we ain't friends. We ain't homeboys. We ain't nothing, man. Stay away from me, bruh. You fucked up. You a real fucked up N-word. For real. I said, all right, man, like I said, you the one told me. He said, I didn't tell you to do that shit, bro. I didn't tell you to do that, man. I said, I bet. I ain't finna be arguing with you, my nigga. I ain't gonna be arguing with you. So I just peeled off, right? I'm gonna tell y'all something. I know, well, let me ask y'all. Let me ask y'all. Was I wrong? Just let me know in the comments. What was I wrong? Because it's like, he came to me and he asked me to test this girl. And like I told y'all, I ain't the finest motherfucker in the world, but I might be the number 2 most handsome man in the world. And the only reason why I'm not number 1 is because somebody else is number 1. You feel me? But like I said, he came to me. There was a big chance that this was going to happen. And like I said, he didn't put no limit of what could happen. He ain't say, you know what I'm saying? He just said, get out of it. And me getting out of it was that. So I'm like, yo, so that's why I'm asking y'all. Was I wrong? Was Donta wrong? I just want to know. Was I wrong for what I did? Because if I was, I take criticism, Tell me, y'all, was I wrong for, busting Kim back out? Y'all let me know in the comment section. Look, y'all, if y'all like these type of stories, make sure y'all subscribe to the channel if y'all haven't subscribed yet, all right? And make sure y'all hit that like button. Also, make sure y'all click the link that's pinned at the top of the comment section to my Patreon, all right? Over there, I got my short horror films. I got the prison stories that I can't put on YouTube over there. I got my Bible stories over there, my supernatural stories. All the content that y'all been looking and asking for is over there. Go ahead and check it out. It is pinned at the top of the comment section. Getting, oh, please don't poke me no more. Please don't hurt me no more.
Oh shit. Here we go again.
If nobody is going to tell you, I'm going to tell you. If you don't got the commissary or the money to cover your debt, do not gamble, do not bet. We call that ass betting. When you gambling or betting with something that you don't got. When you know you ain't got that commissary in your cell and you out here at the gambling table or you out there on the basketball. Well, let me get to the story. So there's this cat by the name of Antoine. And yes, that is him in the thumbnail. Antoine was from Flint, Michigan. You know, I got a speech impediment, so let me say that again. Antoine was from Flint, Michigan. 810. All right. Antoine was one of them type of dudes that loved to play basketball. He loved it. In fact, I'm not even gonna lie. Antoine had skills. He could dribble, he could shoot. However, there was another dude out here on the yard that could play way better than him. Now, this dude could have went to the NBA. Long story short, matter of fact, hold on. Do y'all want the long version or the short version of the story? We finna do a poll right quick. Do y'all like when I tell stories that are 10 minutes long, 15 minutes long, 20 minutes long, 25 minutes long, or 30 minutes long? Let me know in the comment section, because that's going to determine how I start telling these stories for y'all, because y'all are the audience and I'm just here to entertain y'all. So this is your platform, the Donta Show Network. Y'all tell me what y'all want me to do. Now let's get back to it. So he like, dude, the other dude that knew how to play basketball real good, his name was Block. Block and Antoine playing one-on-one. They going at it. But like I said, Block was a little bit better than Antoine. So he was like, all right, check this out. I bet you 2 bags of hot Cheetos and 5 Pepsis. And he was like, all right, bet. So they bought it. Boom, 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 boom. Block beat them and beat them bad. They went to 11. The score was 6-11. Win by 2. So he like, all right, man, all right. Antoine like, all right. So I owe you 2, 4. All right, double it. Double or nothing. Double or nothing. Block thinking Antoine got loads of commissary. He ain't got it. He like, all right, come on, run it back. They go, boom, 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 boom. Now, they going neck and neck, like point for point. Long story short, Block end up winning again. Twine gets so mad and throw the basketball and then storm off. Now, when he threw the basketball, it hit a punk. This punk had a husband, had a man in there. Boom! Ow! Why you hit me for? Man, who hit you? He hit me. He hit me. Hey, man. Hey, Twan. Hey, Twan, come here, man. Twan, come here. Twan, keep walking. All right, I'm going to see you in the pod. You going to hit my lady? You going to hit my lady like that? All right, don't even worry about it. It's all right, baby. Come here. Come here. He hit me. He hit me. Now listen, y'all. I'm watching this whole thing go down. You see this man hugging another man, calling this man his wife. They husband and wife. He hit me. What you gonna do about it? It's okay, baby. I got you. I got you. Don't even worry about it. When we get back to the pot, I'm gonna handle that. Now, Block hears this, and Block go up to dude and like, hey, listen. I know you gonna do whatever you gonna do, but I need for you to fall back on that until I get my commissary for him. Dude, like, man, listen. I don't care what y'all got going on about what he owe you. But when I get in that pod, I'm taking him out. So it's best that you go there and go get yours before I go up there and get mine. Dude, Block like, hey, man, all right, man, listen, I'm not trying to beef with you. I ain't trying to get involved in what you got going on. But, man, hey, listen, my bottom line is this. This is he wasn't an old school cast. My bottom line, and Block like, 25, dude like 44. My bottom line is this. When I go in that pod, I'm going to do something to your partner. I don't care what he owe you. I'm going to get mine. Don't nobody, at this time, y'all, he get him. Don't nobody in this facility going to touch what's mine. This is my wife right here. And that's my bottom line. Anybody even look at my wife wrong, that's just what it's going to be. Now, you can go over there and go get yours now. But when I go hit that pod, I'm going to go see your partner. Dude like, all right, man, whatever. And dude like, all right, yeah. So he walk off. Block walk off. And he instantly go to the pod. He like, hey, Twan, I need my stuff right now, man. He like, man, I ain't got it. Block like, what you mean you ain't got it? Man, here go 2 bags of hot Cheetos, man. That's all I got. He kind of like threw it out. I'm like, here, man. He like, dude, this ain't what, dog. I need my stuff. He like, man, what you gonna do about it, man? I ain't got it. What you want me to do? So you out here betting? Huh? Man, listen, man. I'm going through enough right now, man. I'm not trying to hear that, what you going through, man. What you mean what you going through? Man, I need mines, man. I need mines. So Twan like, man, listen, dog. Man, I ain't got nothing for you, man. I'll get it to you. And we gonna have to make a payment arrangement or something, because I ain't got it. So Block like, man, you got this dude about to come in here. Probably about to stab dude. Dude about to go to the whole party, get transferred. Man, I'm not taking his loss. I'm not taking no L, man. Yo, I need me, man. I need mines, man. Cause if I would have lost, I would have paid you, man. Man, I need my stuff. He like, Twan like, man, listen, man, we're gonna have to fight or something. He was like, what? All right, I'll be back. Let me tell y'all something. When you in prison, even in the streets, when a man says, I'll be back, especially in the penitentiary, and y'all just got done arguing, you do not under no circumstance let that man leave out of your reach or eyesight. Because 9 times out of 10, he about to go get that SOJ, that sword of justice. And he about to come back and y'all about to get it on. In the pod that I was in this particular pod, we called this pod the Terror Dome, where you can get your dome piece cracked wide open. And this situation right here was the perfect storm for somebody getting a dome piece cracked wide open to the white meat. So he said, I'll be back. Wait right there. As soon as he said that, Antoine turned around, went in his cell, and grabbed him a piece of steel. And Block went to his cell and got him a piece of steel. Now, Twan was on the second tier. Block was at the first tier. And he could see him like diagonally. So Twan is standing there at the tier looking down on him. And Block looking up at him, holding it still. Now, you didn't see that he had the steel because he had it like tucked in his pants, but he was gripping. Now, everybody coming back from the yard, and the dude that had a punk in there, which was his wife, he comes in with his wife. And his wife like, oh, no, you ain't got to do that now. No, I don't want you to go to the hole. He like, no, ain't nobody going to disrespect. Now, listen, Twan is so caught up in what he caught up in, he done forgot that he threw this ball and hit he probably don't even know. He probably didn't even know that he hit this dude's wife. But nevertheless, he feel the friction because dude looking up there as he talking, looking towards him like, yeah, I'ma see him. And the gay guy like, nah, baby, don't do it. It's okay. Just let it go. Just let it go. And he like, man, no, ain't nobody gonna be playing with you out here like that. I'll die behind this, man. I'll die behind you, man. So everybody looking like, man, what the heck going on? The guard come over there like, hey, what's going on, man? Because the guard thought that these two was arguing. You know, the wife and the husband was arguing. He was like, man, forget this, man. All right, man. Hey, man, you ever touch my wife again? You even look at my wife again? It's over. That's my bottom line. My bottom line is you ever touch her again, I'm going to do something to you, man. And so she pushing him to the cell. He's like, all right, man, come on, man, let me go. So he go to the cell. So Twan like, man, what is he talking about? So then he started looking down like, man, what the heck going on? Like, why dude just trying to bark down on me like that? So then Block like, I need my stuff, man. I need me. So what do Twan say? Man, come get it in blood. He's like, all right. Get it in blood. All right. I got you. So he go back in his cell. When he come out of cell, he got his big state issue black coat on. Now, when somebody got their coat on in a dorm and they got their boots on and they laced all the way up, suited and booted, they about to get into something. So here he come, he running up the stairs. When he get on the tier, Antoine back in his cell. And he like, come on. So Block like this. He get in front of Twan's cell. Twan standing there like this, but he not showing what he got. Matter of fact, he got it like this. Like, come on. He pump faking. He ain't got no sword of justice. He pump faking. Block wasn't pump faking. Block had that sword of justice out. So it's a standoff. He like, yeah, come on. I got you. Come on in here. So Twan like, come on. So Block just hurry up and run up in there. Now you can't pump fake. Now it's on. So now Block in there with the sword of justice like Michael Myers coming up over top with it. Like, man, don't make me do this to you. Don't make it do. But dude, Twan like, man, I got you, man. He said, man, you pump faking? Man, dog, stop playing with me, man. Get my commissary, man. Give me my stuff, man. He like, man, dog. Block like, you know what? Sweet, cut him. Man, come on, man. Don't do this to me, man. Man, give me my stuff, man. All right, man, hold on. So then Block cut him again. Man, come on. Bro, don't do this to me. Bro, don't do it to me, please, bro. Don't poke me no more, please. Come on, bro, don't do this. Man, get me my commissary, man. Get me my stuff. All right, man, hold on, man. I ain't got that thing. And he poked him again. Man, please don't, man. Man, here, everything, man. Man, this ain't enough, man. So he gave him like 10 packs of ramen noodles, 2 honey buns, another pack of hot Cheetos, and like 3 Mountain Dews. This is not even half of the debt that he owed. So he like, come on, bro, that's all I got, man. I promise to God, man. I swear to God, man. I'm gonna give you your stuff, man. I promise I'll give you your stuff, man. This plane don't prove me no more, man. I'm dying, man. I'm dying, man. I'm dying, bleeding, man. Please don't cut me no more. Man, hey, Twan, I'm telling you, man. You better have the rest of my stuff, man. I'm telling you, dog. Have the rest of my stuff, man. I'm not playing with you. And if you try to check in, I promise, man, it ain't nowhere that you can go in this prison. It ain't nowhere you can go in this prison without me. Check in if you want to. Check in if you want to. I'm telling you. So you're like, all right, bro, please don't cut me no more. Please don't. So, Block wiped this knife off, stuck it back in his jacket, came out, looked to his left, looked to his right, made sure no guards was around, and he left out of there. So now you got Twan all laid up on a bunk, like, man, I think I'm gonna die. So he just laid down. So another cat came into Twan's cell to check on him. And I guess with the conversation, dude that came in the cell with him told like, man, it ain't nothing but, a little flesh wound, man. You ain't gonna die, man. Just, here, put some alcohol right there and, put some Band-Aids right there. You'll be good. Now, it was about 9:30 where we had to do count before we had to get locked down. When the guard got to Twan's cell, man, I gotta talk to you, Deb. All right, I'll talk to you about the count. All right, Deb. Around 11 o'clock. Man, I got stabbed, man. I need for y'all to help me, man. I fear for my life, man. This dude trying to kill me in here. Guard, get on the walkie-talkie, call that code. We already locked down. Guards come up in there, grab him out, get the cart, grab all his property, he gone. As dude walking down the tier, he go Block looking like, you better not snitch. You better not snitch. Let me tell y'all something. Where I was at, if you get convicted of stabbing somebody while in the inside, that's a new charge. It's a street charge. You actually go to court in front of a judge. And there's a 99.99% chance that you are going to be found guilty and you will be convicted. And there's another 5 years that's going to be added to your sentence. So when Block would tell him, you better not snitch, he was kind of really saying that out of fear. Yeah, because he didn't want that extra 5 years of him getting sent up the way to a maximum, super max prison, where it's 23 and 1. Yeah. So, the whole point of this video is to let y'all know what not to do while in prison. And what not to do in prison is to gamble of what you ain't got to gamble with. Do not bet on your butt. And what I mean by that, don't be out here ass betting. Meaning you ain't got the commissary of money to pay your debt. Because you might end up like Antoine, getting, oh, please don't poke me no more. Please don't hurt me no more.
Ah, shit. Here we go again.
Ring, ring, ring. Ring, ring, ring. Hello? Hey, Pops. What's up, son? Hey, Dad, man, I really need you. What's going on? Talk to me. Man, I lost my job and we've been behind on the rent for a couple months. We about to get evicted. Oh, okay. Well, how much you behind? Well, I don't really need no money. Well, I don't need no money to get caught up. Like, we like too far behind. But like I said, I lost my job and I was just wondering, could me and my wife come move in with you for about a month or two so I can get back on my feet. Yeah, son. Yeah, I got you. I got you. When do you think y'all gonna be coming? I don't know. As soon as possible, pops. All right. We need some money for the U-Haul. Anything? Yeah. I'm gonna need probably about all together maybe about $400. All right, son. I got you. I'm about to send it to your Cash App. Thank you, Dad. All right. Now, the conversation y'all just heard was between a man named Terry Sr. and his son, Terry Jr. This is obviously a father and son, right? Terry Jr. has hit rock bottom. He lost his job. He been behind on rent for the last couple months and he getting evicted. And he feel like, you know what, this my dad. I'm going to reach out to him and see can I move in with him and, get a job and stack my bread up and me and my wife can get out and start our life again. Well, let's get into the story. So his wife so what'd he say? He said, yeah. He said, yeah. He said we can stay with him and he gonna send me some money, for us to move or whatever. So she like, thank God, man. Thank God. He was like, yeah, man. So the wife how is your dad? Like, I never, I never met him before. He cool. He cool. He a truck driver and he my dad. He cool. So she like, oh, okay. So he checked the Cash App, the money there. They go get the U-Haul. They start packing things up, taking care of their affairs or whatever. 2 days later, they hit the road and they show up at Pop's house. Now, Pop's got a 3-bedroom house. 3-bedroom, 2 bathrooms, right? And one of the bathrooms is in his room, okay? So they pull up. I just have to tell y'all that part because it's going to make sense later on. Where I have to describe how many bathrooms is in the house. So they pull up. They get out the car, knock on the door. Pops come to the door in a robe, right? Oh, what's up, son? Hey, what's up, Pops? Okay. This my wife, Lisa. Hey, how you doing? So he say, I don't do handshakes because she tried to give him a handshake. He said, I do hugs. And he hugged her. Now, when he hugged her, his fucking robe came open. And this dude was there in a nude. So he's like, oh, my bad. So she like, uh-oh. So she turned around and bust out and started laughing. And, Terry Jr. was like, come on, Dad. Come on, man. Go put some clothes on, man. He like, man, my bad. I just got out the shower, man. But yeah, man, y'all unpack. Y'all do what y'all do, son. You know where my room at. Y'all got the other room. I was just cleaning out the guest room. But y'all got it, man. I'm about to go. Yeah, y'all got it. My bad. Right? So he go back in the house. So the wife was like, oh my God, I can't believe that just happened. He like, man, my dad a trip, man. This dude, man, this motherfucker a trip, man. Now, keep in mind, y'all, this woman never met him at all. You see, even when he didn't even show up at the wedding because he was on the road. Pops always was on the road and that's just how he was. He felt like, hey, I need that money. If I'm not on the road, I ain't getting no money. So I guess he missed his own son wedding for truck driving. Whatever, that ain't my business. Anyway, so they start bringing the stuff in the house, whatever. And he eventually come outside and he started helping to bring the stuff in the house, right? Now, nothing really eventful took place in that first week because Pops went out and, he got on the road and started truck driving. So Terry went out looking for a job. His wife, she's like she don't work at all. Their agreement is that, she take care of the kids and just be, a stay at home mom. But the thing is, they don't got no kids though. But, Terry just one of them traditional men, like you stay home and, I work type of deal. So she just at home by herself, right? Now, Terry ended up finding a job at a group home, and the shift that was only available was third shift, so it was from 11 p.m. to 7 a.m. Right? So he gets this job, and he tells his dad like, "Hey, pops, I got a job. I'm working at this group home." He like, "All right, son, cool. That's the best." He was like, "Yes, third shift is from 11. It's 11 p.m. to 7 a.m. and I'm just gonna be working third shift." So pops like, "What your wife gonna be doing?" He like, shoot, nothing really." He was like, "Nothing." He was like, "Yeah." He was like, she ain't gonna be working or going to school or nothing?" He was like, "No, I'm just gonna do the traditional thing, pops. She stay at home and you know, I go to work." He was like, "Oh, okay, well, all right." Now, this is the second week. Now, Pops is spending more and more time at home, and he's just hanging around the house. Now, Terry Jr. this is how this group home thing work, right? Even though he worked from 11 p.m. to 7 a.m., if somebody don't come to relieve him or there's a shortage of staff, which it is, he have to stay until somebody come, right? So he could be working from 11 p.m. to 7 a.m. to 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. You know what I'm saying? So this was going on, but he wasn't really tripping because all that overtime money he was getting, yeah. Now, at the same time, when he come home, now we gonna fast forward like 2 months later, he haven't really been intimate with his wife at all. At all, because when he come home, he tired because he do double shifts. Hell, sometimes he even did a triple shift, like a full day from 11 p.m. to 7 a.m., 7 a.m. to 3 p.m., and 3 p.m. to 11 p.m., and that's where he started his next shift, his normal shift. So he grinding, and yeah, he sleeping on the job here and there. Him and his partner that's working with him, they got a little schedule worked out or whatever. Don't act like y'all ain't never slept on the job before. But anyway, this is going on, but he getting that cake, y'all, and Pops ain't charging him nothing. So we gonna fast forward to the incident that took place. Now, you remember when I told y'all that it's 2 bathrooms? It's a bathroom in Pop's room, and there's a bathroom like in the main house, like in the hallway or whatever. And they both full bathrooms, right? So Pops end up cutting the water off in the bathroom, the main bathroom. He heard, that the wife was about to go get in the shower or whatever. So he goes down to the basement and cut the water off from that part of the house right there. So he goes back upstairs, and I guess she goes to the bathroom and she cut on the water, but it won't cut on. So she like, hey Terry, something wrong with the water, like it ain't cutting on. So he go in the bathroom and act like, like he concerned. He know he cut the water off, so he like, yeah, that's odd. Well, you can go you jump in my shower. I ain't tripping. Yeah, go to my room. You can use mine, right? So she was like, "You sure?" He like, "Yeah. I'll figure out." But yeah, go ahead. Now let me tell y'all what this dirty motherfucker got on his bed. This dude, I ain't even gonna say what he got on his bed, y'all. What he got on his TV. Now this dude got a 65-inch flat screen TV, right? So when she walk in the room, there's a porno playing, right? And it's loud. And when she walked in, it kind of threw her off like, what? Man, why this dude? All right, whatever. So she goes to the bathroom. Now, she's trying to lock the door, but it won't lock. In fact, one of them doors where it's not correctly put up, like every time you close the door, it kind of popped back open a little bit. She kept trying to close it, right? So not only she hearing this porno noise in the background, all this moaning and stuff, but this door won't close. So she feel real uncomfortable, like, all right, man, whatever. So she ended up cutting the shower on. She jump in there, right? So like 3 minutes late. Now, in her mind, she said, let me just hurry up and get in here and get out, right? Now, when she get in there, she totally forgot to get a dry off towel because her anxiety was so crazy of hearing this noise, and she was just so uncomfortable. She forgot to get the damn dry off towel. So she like, dang, how I'm gonna do this? So she cut the water off. So she was like, hey, Terry, can you, cause she know he in the bedroom, right? She was like, hey, could you turn that down some? And he was like, oh, my bad. So then he just cut it off, and then he cut on his bedroom light. She was like, could you get me a dry off towel, please? He like, yeah, I got you, right? So he like, here you go. So he handed to her through the door, and he say, well, you know, you can get dressed up in here, whatever. I bought your stuff in here, you know, your outfit that was in your room. So in her head, she thinking like, what? Why would he go in my room and he got my bra, my panties, and my dress? And he said, yeah, I got your stuff right here in the bed. I'm gonna walk out. I'm gonna step out. So he step out the room, and she's sitting there drying off in the bathroom. She was like, man, this dude, man, what the heck? He just violated me. So she opened the door, and she looking left to right. He not in there, right? So she said, thank God. So she go to the bed, and she put on her stuff. Now, she put on her bra and panties and stuff. She just thinking like, this motherfucker really just violated me. Like, he went into our room. I mean, I know I ain't paying no rent here or whatever, but damn. Like, he just go in my room and just touch my undergarments. And why would he? Anyway, never mind. So she putting on her clothes or whatever, right? And then he walks in, like right when she putting her dress on. And she like, excuse me. He was like, what? My bad. I thought you left out the room. Y'all, he didn't think nothing. He know damn well she didn't leave out that room yet, right? He tried to have him get a sneak peek. So she like, yeah, excuse me. So she walked past him. So he was like, hey man, why you is something wrong? Did I do something? She was like, yeah, kind of. I mean, I walk in your room and you have a dope video playing super loud, and you know, I just didn't feel comfortable with you bringing my stuff into your room like that. He was like, oh, I mean, we family. I thought everything was good. We family. So she was like, yeah, he was like, no, I apologize. If I offended you, I'm so sorry. I ain't been with a woman. A woman ain't been in this house in so long, man. I'm sorry. I didn't mean nothing by it. I apologize. So he walked up to her and gave her like a hug, right? But she felt something. Now, I'm not going to go into detail of what she felt, but just imagine you hugging somebody and something end up growing. So she jumped back. He said, oh my God, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. So she just walked out the room, right? So as she walking down the hallway, he yelled out like, I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Right? So, y'all, I'm laughing because what's about to happen next is going to be real tripped out, y'all. So she's on the porch. He come outside. He say, hey, look, I apologize for what happened, man. Don't tell my son, man. Don't tell him. She was like, tell him what? He was like, you know about what happened today. She was like, what happened? He was like, oh, okay. I see. I got you. So he was like, he was like, man, where are you from? Like, where you from? She was like, I'm from so and so. He was like, oh, okay, I got people up there. So how you and my son meet? And I want to apologize for me not making them where, you know, I had to work or whatever. She was like, no, it's okay. It was cool. He said, but did y'all get the money that I sent though? She was like, yeah, we got it. He was like, okay, bet. So when you gonna give me some grandkids? When you gonna get some grandkids? So she was like, I don't know, man. Terry been working, so much, man. We just ain't got the time. He was like, what? As fine as you is, man, shoot, I will make time, man. I'll be hitting that every day. So she looked at him like, what did you just say? He hurt. It was all over her face. So he was like, oh, no, I'm just saying, if I was Terry and you was my woman, man, I'd be beating them drawers down every day, man, for real. So she got up and she said, you know what, you doing too much. And she tried to walk off, so he grabbed her by the wrist. And he was like, look, man, I ain't gonna lie, man. I want to fuck you. And she was like, what? So he stood up. He was like, yeah, I want to fuck you, man. Look, man, you been in this house just leading me on, and man, look, I'll pay for it. She was like, I'm your son's wife, man. What are you talking about? He like, man, he a bum, man. He a bum. You need to be with a real nigga like me, man. I'll keep you up, man. Man, he don't even gotta know, man. I'll pay for that pussy, right? Listen, y'all, this is one dirty motherfucker, y'all. Dirty motherfucker, right? So she was like, man, let me go, man. Let me go. He like, man, think about it, man. Think about it, man. So he pulled out a knot full of money. It was about $10,000. He was like, man, I give you this shit every other week, man. Every other week. Let me just hit that pussy. She was like, man, you sick. You a sick motherfucker. So she kind of walked off, like she like pulled away from him. She walked off the porch, started walking. He was like, don't tell my son. Don't tell my son. Right? So he go back in the house. So she walking down the street like, I can't believe this motherfucker. This freaky motherfucker. Man, yeah, I'm gonna tell Terry. I'm gonna tell Terry, but no, I don't wanna stress him out, and we ain't really got nowhere to go. So this is what she battling with. If I tell my husband, I don't know what he gonna do. He might flip. We might be homeless. We might have to go to a hotel. But if I don't say nothing, he might keep doing this. She's in a dilemma, y'all. So she like, you know what? Nah, I'ma tell him. I'ma tell him. So about an hour go by, she go back in the house, and he's sitting in the living room, and he was like, where you going? She was like, hey, listen, man, I'ma tell Terry I'm finna start packing our stuff. I'ma tell him, let him know what happened. He was like, oh, really? She was like, yeah. He was like, let me show you something. So he cut on the living room TV and pop a VCR tape in. And it's her naked getting dressed in this room. So she was like, you was recording me? You sick motherfucker. He said, nah, what you ain't understanding is this. I'ma tell Terry that me and you was fucking around in a bathroom. And, you know, I'm gonna show him this tape. And she was like, he ain't gonna believe that. Like, they said, why are you using my bathroom? Why are you using my shower? And she was like, oh my God, you set me up. He said, look, man, I don't want to have to do that. I don't want to have to do all that. But look, man, check this out. I don't want to mess up me and my son relationship, and I don't want to mess up your relationship. But I gotta hit that, man. I got to, man. But listen, I'm gonna give you $10,000, man. Here you go. I just need to hit that this one time, man. This one time, man. So she like, man, you was a sick mother. He said, okay, look, I'm tired of playing with you. Either we gon' or you can get out. Y'all can go. Like, for real, I'm tired of playing games. Y'all can go. So she was like, just this one time? He was like, yeah, just this one time, man. So she was like, all right, man, come on. So they go in his room, and, well, they do the unthinkable. Now, about a month later goes by. And in that month later going by, they done messed around about 5 times. But he done gave her about $20,000. But he ain't giving her no more money. Now he just using the blackmail tactic. Like, and here's another thing, y'all. He's been recording every interaction, every time they messed around. So now he getting it for free. Cause he like, well, hey, he's showing her these videos, and he basically got her trapped. Let's put a pause right there, right quick, y'all. Let me know in the comment section what would y'all would have done. I'm talking to the ladies out there, and if any of you men got any advice, what would y'all would have done in this situation? But anyway, let's keep the story going. So they messing around, right? And then Terry Jr., he ended up becoming the manager, right? Because they seen that he been putting in the work. He been doing all this overtime. He ain't called off. He's showing up and showing out. So they gave him a management position, and everything is more easier. Now he can stay at home more and, be with his wife. Now, him and the wife start knocking boots. And when I say they knocking boots for real. Because I don't know, because he ain't stressed out no more. He got time, he got the energy. But all along, the daddy and the son is knocking her down, right? Every time he go to work, the daddy come in like, hey, you know what time it is. 5 months later of continuous back and forth, right? Her going in between these two cats, she ended up pregnant. We just gonna fast forward to the hospital when she actually have the baby. Tell me why, when the baby came out, it looked just like the daddy. Now Terry Jr. didn't really think nothing at all. He didn't think nothing really at all about it. Cause he like, well, I mean, this is my dad's genetics. Right? Oh, y'all, we ain't at the end of the story, because I know y'all thinking like, well, damn, Donta, don't end the story. Oh, I'm not, because it's about to get real crazy. So they taking pictures of, and keep in mind, Terry daddy not there at the hospital. The third day he comes to the hospital, and he tell her like, hey, man, this little motherfucker could look like me, man. I don't know if this my son or my grandson. And she was like, you know what? Now, keep in mind, y'all, her husband, which is Terry Jr., supposed to be at work. But he about to come to the hospital and surprise her with some Halo burger, right? But as he coming in, he hear the conversation. And she like, I'm just going to tell him. I'm tired of this. You ain't going to keep on trying to put this shit over my head. I'm just going to tell him what you did. So Terry Jr. walk in like, what's going on? What's going on? So she like, Terry, listen, man, me and your father been having for almost a year now. He like, what? And his dad was like, yeah, we had, but she came on to me though. She like, no, I didn't. So they arguing, right? Terry Jr. and Terry Sr. about to fight. It's just chaos up in this room, right? Doctors come in there, nurses, security card. They separate the two, all that. Now, we're going to fast forward to when she about to get discharged to leave the hospital a couple days later. Now, Terry Jr. is talking to her like, look, man, because she done told him what happened, and he like, man, you my wife. You should have told me from the jump, like this was going on, man. You should have told me this was going on. So she like, man, I was scared, man. I didn't know what to do. He was like, look, man, I'm going to take this DNA test, and we need to figure this out, because I don't know if this my brother or this my son, but you see how crazy that sound, girl? She like, yeah, I do, but I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. Why the DNA test come back and it's not the son? It's the dad. All right, y'all. This story right here is about when my homeboy Stedman gave his mother-in-law chlamydia. Yeah. Now, before we go on with this story, I want to address some people right quick. There's about 5 or 10 people that be in my comment section
talking about, oh, why you always talking about this? Why you always talking about that? My thing is this. You seen the thumbnail. You seen the title. You decided to click on it because it was interesting to you. So my thing is, shut your damn mouth and listen to the damn story, right? And at least if you gonna talk crap in my comment section, at least hit the like button, right? But anyway, let's get to the story. Now, my homeboy Stedman, right? You know, this is the same guy that ended up doing something real zesty with his cousin that he didn't know that was his cousin, right? But, you know, my homeboy Stedman, he has a very interesting life. It's like every other month there's always something going on with this dude, right? Case in point, the story I'm about to tell y'all. Now, before I get into the story, what I'm about to tell y'all relates to what I'm about to tell y'all. In the Bible, Old Testament, it says that a man should not lay with his wife's mother, okay, which will make it the stepmother. Okay, so let's just get that clear. So the homie, you know, he called me one day and he like, hey, bro, I really need to holler at you about something. You know, a lot of people call me for advice. And I'm like, what's up? He like, man, I'm really dealing with something. I'm like really going through something right now. So I'm like, what is it? So he like, man, you know I'm married, right? I said, yeah, man, like, what's up, man? What is it? He like, well, listen, you know, I've been married to my wife about 8 years. I said, I know I was your best man. He like, yeah, I know. But he was like, man, throughout the years, man, I've been attracted to her mama. I said, what? He was like, yeah, I've been attracted to her mama. And I was like, okay. And I'm like, what you mean attracted to her? Because, you know, I'm kind of confused at this point. He was like, man, her mama, she looked good to me. I said, listen, bro, you got to have some type of self-control. You know what I'm talking about? What do you mean the mama look good to you? He was like, I mean, she attractive woman, you know, she's a 60-year-old attractive woman. And, you know, I really kind of want to, you know, I said, no, I don't know. What do I supposed to know? He like, man, I want to hit. I said, Stedman, come on, dog. He like, what? I mean, I ain't never gonna ask her, but I mean, if the opportunity ever presents itself, I said, how the hell would the opportunity ever present itself? He like, man, I'm just saying, man, I'm just saying, if her mom ever, you know, give me any type of inclination, I'm hitting, man, for real. I said, Stedman, dog, you got 2 kids by this woman, and you thinking about hitting her mama, dog? He like, man, I'm just saying, dog. I said, well, have her mama ever gave you any type of sign that, you know, she was interested in you? He was like, no, not really. I mean, I can't really tell. I said, listen, Stedman, you have a lack of discipline, man. You really need to recalibrate your brain, because what you talking about is doing the unthinkable, man. I said, you know, in the Bible, it says that a man do not supposed to mess with his wife's sister or his auntie or the stepmom. I said, yo, dog, you can't, that's unlawful for you to do, homeboy. And plus, morally, that's not right. And you only doing it because she look good to you? He was like, yeah, man. I mean, I can't help the way I feel, bro. I said, well, I mean, I don't know what to tell you. I never been in that type of situation, nor have I ever heard of a situation like this. I mean, you heard things in the projects, you know, with super ratchet women, but, you know, I don't know what to tell you. So he was like, yeah, but I got to tell you something, though. I said, what? It was like, I hit already. I said, what? He was like, yeah, I already hit. I said, Stedman. He was like, what? I said, how the hell did that even happen? He was like, all right, let me tell you. He said about 2 months ago, right, the mama ended up moving in with them or whatever, because I guess they had a flood and the mama had a flood in her house or whatever. So naturally she had to come over and, move in. So she only supposed to been there for about 2 weeks or whatever until the house got done. So nevertheless, Stedman don't work at all. Stedman ain't got no job. Stedman is living off a wifey. And, Stedman tell me like, at first it was, it was normal. First couple days, everything was good. She was cooking the meals. She was cleaning up. My wife was always at work. And she was there. And he said one day he got in the shower and she came in there. And, he said the way the shower is set up, it's like a see-through, well, not see-through, but how can I put it? Y'all know them showers that if you ain't got no shower curtain, you just got like the clear thing, but it's like obscured in a way. Y'all know what I'm talking about. It's a shower like that, but you can see somebody's silhouette, right? So he said he in the shower and she comes in there and she just got her bra and panties on. So he like, man, what the heck? Now he said he already, been feeling that type of way towards her. So he just said, man, she know I'm up in here. Why is she in here? And so he said that he pulled back the shower door a little bit and peeked his head. I was like, what's going on? She was like, oh, I didn't know you was in here. And she had left out. But he said like, no, she lying. She knows she see me. So he said that was the first thing, he said he got out the shower and, got dressed or whatever. He said nothing happened. He said the second day when his wife went out, I think his wife went out grocery shopping or something like that. The mama, she usually was like kind of stay in her room or whatever, but he said that he was sitting on the couch watching TV and he heard like this moaning noise, like this super loud moaning noise. He like, what the heck? And he said that when he walked towards, the noise, the bedroom that his stepmom was in or whatever, his mother-in-law was in, the door was kind of crept open and she was touching herself, moaning loud. And he said like, she doing this shit on purpose. So he said that he sat by the door for a moment. So he said he finna just test the water. So he said like he made like a noise to see what she gonna stop. So he said he like kind of kicked the door a little bit, and well, not the door, to kick the door, like the door frame or whatever, to see what she stopped, but she didn't. So he said he knocked on the door like, hey, miss, blah, blah, blah. You all right in there? And she got quiet. And she was like, come in. So he said he walked in there and he said that she would just lay spread eagle style on the bed. And he was like, are you all right? And she was like, boy, stop playing. And he said that he just got in it, dove in it. I said, dog, that was foul in a motherfucker. He was like, man, bruh, man, I ain't gonna lie, I did kind of feel bad afterwards. We didn't use no protection. I did bust in. I said, ho. And I know a lot of y'all probably like, Donta, this can't be true. Ain't no way this story true. Y'all, it get worse. It get really worse than this. Don't worry, I got y'all. But before we go any further, just in case if y'all forgot to hit the like button, y'all hit that like button for your boy. And also, if y'all like the way I tell my stories, y'all check out Stacy's story time. I'm going to have her link pinned at the top of the comment section. Go check her out. So anyway, he tell me like he bust up in her. No, he ain't pull out. And he said after they did what they did, he just got up and he got in the shower, and about 10 minutes later, she got in the shower. And while she was in the shower, his wife, rolled up, and he said like he just went outside and helped bring the groceries in or whatever. And he just said he just felt bad, whatever. But he said it wasn't nothing really awkward between the, mother-in-law and, the daughter and him. It was like, whatever. Now, this is where this story takes, well, I guess I was about to say a crazy turn, but it get worse, y'all. It get, hence the title. All right. So at this time, y'all, he tell me like it was kind of like a game for him where he'd sleep with his wife and then he'd go in there and go sleep with the mama. Right. He said him and the mama would never really even talk. They'd just do it, like sneaking around or whatever. And he said it was like a thrill for him. Like, I just got done sleeping with your daughter, now I'm sleeping with the mama type thing. So he said, nevertheless, he said one day he had to use the bathroom. And he said at first when he had to use the bathroom, whatever, he said something felt off a little bit. So he said when he went to the bathroom, nothing happened. It just something felt off. Like he said when he was using the bathroom, it was like kind of tingling or whatever. But then he said, nevertheless, he like, all right, maybe, I don't know. So he said the second day when he had to go to the bathroom, he knew that he messed up. He said he knew something was all the way wrong. Why? Because he said it was like he was pissing out needles, y'all. He was burnt. Now, I know. A lot of y'all gonna say, well, did moms give it to him or did the wife give it to him? I mean, he been with this woman for 8 years and he ain't never caught nothing. So obviously it wasn't, his wife, but he's sleeping with this new woman, which is his wife's mother. And his wife's mother, he don't know if she out there sleeping with other guys, but he know for sure that he been going in between the mama and his wife. So he's in a huge dilemma. So I said, dog, what happened? Now, I know it's taking a lot for me to get to the story, y'all, but y'all should have seen how he was procrastinating telling me the story. But anyway, he like, man, I went to the clinic and, they did a rapid test or whatever, and yeah, I got chlamydia or whatever, and they told me to take these pills or whatever and let the people know who I'm being intimate with, let them know what's happening. And he said, but I can't tell my wife that and tell her I'm banging her mama. No, I can't do that. That's out. So I said, so what happened? He was like, man, I was going to just wait till she just get her symptoms and then just accuse her of cheating. I said, Stedman, dog, that's fucked up, dog. You gonna mess up a marriage? I mean, you already messed it up sleeping with her mom, but you gonna blame her for what you did? He was like, what I supposed to do? I mean, I do love my wife, but I don't want her to leave me. What should I do? That's why I'm calling you. I said, I don't know. He was like, well, you've been married for 10 years, bro. You've been with your woman for 11 years. I said, yeah, then I'm not banging my mother-in-law neither. And I'm not cheating and doing all this type of weird that you doing. So I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. But just tell her, don't try to make her think that, because she knows she didn't do anything. I mean, unless she is creeping, but, she don't seem like she is. But, okay, put it like this. If she ain't creeping on you, right, and the symptoms gonna come up, how you gonna tell her, like, come on, bruh? And then I don't know, man, because it's like one thing, okay, yeah, you cheated on me, even with a prostitute or just a random woman. Okay, cool, bet, whatever. But the mom, her mother, come on, man. How do you even, how did that conversation, yo, babe, yeah, okay, I gave you chlamydia, but your mom gave it to me. What? You see how crazy that sound? So he like, yeah, bro, I really messed up. So what should I do? I said, honestly, I don't know, man. for sure, you need to cut it off with her mama. For real. That should have never happened, but hey, it happened. We here now. Well, not we, you here now. And you just need to cut it. As far as letting your wife know, I don't know, man. I don't know, man. You could say, well, maybe you went somewhere and use a cloth and that's how you got it. I don't know, man. They say that you can catch certain STDs off of surfaces or whatever. So maybe you can get away with that. And, I don't know, but you and her mama need to have a conversation to let her know that, like, yeah, she gave this to you or whatever, and y'all have to stop what y'all doing. And somehow, some way, y'all have to break it, or you got to break it to your wife, like, because that, I believe, that can, cause cancer or something if it's untreated, over the years or months or something. So you need to holler at your wife, man. So he like, all right, man, all right. Now, this is where this story, oh, y'all thought that was the worst of the story. No, it's about to get even deeper. Right now, y'all, the time of this story is 16 minutes and 55 seconds. Y'all let me know, what do y'all think I'm about to tell y'all? What do y'all think? And start putting it in the comment section right now before I reveal what happened next. What do y'all say with Donta? It can't get no worse than that. It can't get no worse than this, can it? It get worse. Now, about a week will go by after Stedman tell me this, right? I didn't hear from Stedman for a whole week, y'all. Stedman finally calls me. He like, bruh, hey, you got $300? It ain't out of the norm that, some of my associates hit me up, for a favor or two, a couple dollars or whatever. I said, nigga, what you need 300 for? He like, bruh, man, I really fucked up. Like, I really fucked up. I said, what did you do? I said, Stedman, what did you do? He was like, man, bruh, man, I got her pregnant, bruh. I says, no, Stedman. He said, yeah, bruh, and got to get the abortion money up. I said, Stedman, listen. He like, I know. I said, no, nigga, listen. Because if I'm going to give you some money, you going to listen. He like, man, what's up? I said, listen. Because I'm a Christian man, I don't believe in abortion. I don't. I don't believe in it. You made a serious bed that you going to have to lay in. I said, you going to have to, man, you was better off telling me y'all need some groceries or you was behind on a bill or something. But I can't, in good faith and conscience, give you some money to get rid of a child. He like, yeah, bro, but I'm telling you, man, I said, yeah, I know you did it. Yo, you see what your lust gave you? You see what your freaky mind and that you did? This is that example of you made your bed, you got to lay in that mother effer. I can't give you no money towards that, homie. I can't. I can't, man. He like, all right, bro. Let me tell y'all something. Again, in the Old Testament, which is still valid to this day, it says that a man do not supposed to lay with his wife mother, right? It is unlawful. So what I'm trying to tell y'all is it's a lot of things that's going on in this world right now because a lot of y'all done threw away God's laws and then y'all just living real lawless, right? The reason why Stedman is in this current situation right now, I don't know if mother-in-law got the abortion. I don't even know if he even told wifey that, about the chlamydia situation. But I know this, though. Once you violate God's laws and commandments, whether Old or New Testament, this is the that you get.
If you a white, weak inmate, never ever take anything from a black man in prison. Or you might just end up getting your soul taken. Let's get to this story.
Now, I'm coming in for my visit, right? I just met my mama. I ain't seen my mama in about 2 months, so I'm just gonna fast forward the visit. So I end up giving my mama a hug, and I end up going to the corridor where you have to get strip searched. So I go in the corridor, and I'm waiting. So the guard come in there, and the routine is you got to strip butt booty naked. So I'm standing there, I take off my jumpsuit, take off my shoes, take off my socks, take off my drawers, and I'm standing there Adam and Eve butt booty naked. Put my hands against the brick wall, spread eagle style. The guard come in there with the flashlight, stick your tongue out, lift your tongue up, spread your cheeks, bend over and cough. The humiliation ritual. All you jail dudes, y'all know about that. So I'm good to go. So I put my clothes back on and I get shackled. So now they lead me back to the dorm. So I go in there, right, and I see Sweet Low standing under the TV, and he looking right across the way. And the way he looking is not normal. It's like, have y'all ever seen like on the National Geographic Discovery Channel where a lion or like a tiger is stalking its prey? That's how Sweet Low was looking. And I'm trying to see, like, who is he looking at? Now, remember, y'all, every Tuesday we get brand new inmates. So I do see a couple cats in here that I haven't seen before. So I'm trying to beam in, like, connected dots, and I see him. It's a white boy standing over there that I ain't never seen before. And Sweet Low got his eyes on the white boy. So I said, oh, okay. So Sweet Low, he trying to, okay, I see what's going on. So I go to my cell, right? And I come back out and I see Sweet Low over there talking to him, right? So I'm nosy. I go over there, Sweet Low is standing across from him. They just talking. So I ease over there to see what they talking about. And Sweet Low telling him, like, listen, if you need any cigarettes, if you need any t-shirts, if you need any deodorant, shampoo, if you need some noodles, some Doritos, anything you need, I got you. And, the white boy like, okay, yeah, I do need a couple of hygienic items. And Sweet Low like, what you think? What you need? So the white boy Tommy like, I need some shampoo. Do you got like some dandruff? Cause my hair be flaking a lot. And Sweet Low put his hands in Tommy's hair. It was like, man, you got a good grade of hair. Let me tell you cat something out there right quick. Number one, never ever let a man rub his hands through your hair. Let me say that again, because a lot of you cats, normally some people be like, I would never let that happen, but some of you cats would let that happen because y'all unaware of what's going on. So he rubbed his hands through his hair like, no, man, you got a good grade of hair, but yeah, I got something for you, man. Don't worry about it. I got something for you. So Sweet Low like, hold on, I'm about to, I got you. Hold on. So Sweet Low go back to his cell, right? And Tommy that's standing there. Sweet Low come back with some shampoo. He like, listen, this right here, this on me. You ain't got to worry about it. But just, get you a couple of squirts or whatever. Just let it sit in your hair for about 5 minutes, then wash it out. You should be good. So white boy Tommy like, all right, bet, man. Cool. I don't owe you nothing for this. Sweet Low like, nah, man, I got you, man. We homies. We homeboys. So Tommy like, all right, bet, man, say less. So Tommy take the shampoo and he start walking towards his cell and he go grab him, the things to go take a shower. So Sweet Low pull up on him and like he tell Tommy like, hey, um, do you need some assistance? And Tommy like, what you mean assistance? He like, do you need like for me to like to help you, wash your hair? Cause you got to get real deep into your scalp. You know what I'm talking about? To get for it to work. And so Tommy like, no, not really. I don't think. And so Sweet Low like, listen, what I just gave you is real expensive, man. I don't want it to go to waste, man. So I tell you what, I'm gonna help you this time. I'm gonna show you how to do it the first time the right way, and then you will know how to do it, so you don't waste it because this is real expensive. So white boy Tommy like, okay, I bet that's cool. So he like, all right, hold on, let me go grab my shower stuff. So white boy Tommy go to the shower, right? And he's waiting on Sweet Low to come in there. Sweet Low go in there, right? And he like, all right, look, I'm gonna cut the water on and just put your head under, the faucet, whatever. So white boy Tommy he does it, and Sweet Low put the shampoo in his hair, right? Now at this point, Sweet Low is like standing on the side of him. They not naked or nothing. It's just white boy Tommy got his shirt off, but he got his pants still on. He got his shower shoes on, and Sweet Low got his clothes all the way on too. So he's washing his hair, whatever. He's washing the white boy hair. So Sweet Low like, listen, don't open your eyes because like when soap get your eyes or whatever, it's like it'll burn the hell out of you, man. But in this right here, this shampoo would then make you blind. So just keep your eyes closed, man. Do not open your eyes, right? Now I know a lot of y'all probably wondering, like Dante, how the hell do you know what was going on or what was said if you wasn't in there? Okay, so this is how it all makes sense, y'all. So I end up going in there, right? I went because you got okay when you go into the shower. I might as well say the bathroom, right? When you go into the bathroom, to the left, you got the toilet, the pee stalls, and you got the toilets to the left. So when matter of fact, like at Walmart, it's kind of just like that. To the left, you got the boys' restroom, and to the right, you got the girls' restroom. So let's picture that. So imagine going to the left side. There's the mirrors, there's the stand-up pee stalls, and there's the toilets. And now if you go to the right, there's the showers. So I was going to the bathroom, right? I had to go pee. But I hear Sweet Low talking to him, right? So this is how I know what was said. Now, Sweet Low is basically telling him to keep his eyes closed or whatever, right? So the white boy, Tommy, he don't know what's going on. He just thinking, Sweet Low was helping him, grease his scalp with the shampoo, whatever. Now, this is where this story is about to take an evil Sodom and Gomorrah demonic turn. Now, I leave out the bathroom. This dude named Lil Ray goes in to go take a shower. And so this is how I know what I'm about to tell y'all, because this part came from Lil Ray. So Lil Ray goes in there and he turns right back around. This is what Lil Ray seen. This is what Lil Ray told me. He said, Dante, Sweet Low basically had his pants down, right? And he was, how can I put it? I'm trying to stay in the YouTube guidelines. Basically, Sweet Low was gunning the white boy, right? So all this time, Sweet Low got his right hand on top of the white boy head, massaging his head with the shampoo, and then Sweet Low left hand is how can I say, exercising his Second Amendment right, if that make any sense. Yeah. If y'all know what gunning is, yeah, that's what he's doing. And the white boy have no clue what Sweet Low was doing because Sweet Low was telling him don't open your eyes because it's going to burn your eyes. So the white boy don't know that Sweet Low is basically getting off on him. Long story short, according to Lil Ray. So I'm like, man, that's crazy. So nevertheless, Sweet Low leave out the shower first, and he goes straight to his cell and lay down. I guess he took a nap because I guess after he did what he did, he just said, I guess he just wanted to take a nap. So then a white boy Tommy come out, and I see him. I'm like, man, I gotta say something to him. I have to warn him. So I pull up on him. I'm like, hey, let me talk to you right quick. He like, what's up, man? I said, you ever did time before? He was like, no, I mean, in the county. I said, how much time you get? He was like, man, they gave me 4 years. I said, 4 years. I said, let me tell you something. What happened in that shower? He was like, oh, the guy S, because they call him S. They call Sweet Low S. He like the guy S. He was showing me how to clear up my dandruff and putting the shampoo in my hair, or whatever. But yeah, I was just washing my hair out. I said, and that's it. Nothing happened. He was like, no, nothing. Yeah, that was it. He just told me to close my eyes and he was just rubbing the shampoo in my head. I said, listen, that guy S, they call him Sweet Low. And he was like, oh, that's a funny name. I said, it ain't nothing funny about that. I said, listen, I'm not trying to tell you what to do and how to do it, but if you not a homosexual, he like, oh no, heck. I said, listen, man, stop cutting me off, man. If you not a homosexual or you don't want to be involved in homosexual activity, stay away from that guy. He was like, man, he a good dude, man. He the only person that's, since I've been locked up, since the county jail, man, he the only person that approached me and he's looking out for me, man. My own parents don't even look out for me, or family, nor friends, and he looking out for me. I said, listen, I'm not trying to tell you what to do, but I'm telling you that if you like that, then it is what it is. He was like, hey, listen, I'm a grown man. I can do what I want to do, and you know, if he's offering me something, I'm going to take it because I don't have anything. I said, all right, say less, and I walked off. Right, so he go to his cell. The next 3 days, it was nothing eventful took place. Right, but on the fourth day, this is where it happened. So me, Al, Torty, Homicide, JD, Lorenzo, we all sitting at the table, right? We're in the chow hall, right? And Tommy walks in, and he's in line. So it's probably maybe about 8 people in front of Tommy. And there's like 3 black dudes behind Tommy. So, they in the lunch line. Sweet Low comes in, and he's all the way in the back. And so he like jumped the line, and get right behind Tommy, like right behind him. And he like, oh, what's up, man? So Sweet Low like, hey, you, cause this is lunchtime, y'all. They had turkey sandwiches, apple, and like this big old cake, right? It's a plain cake. Y'all know like the yellow cake, but with no frosting on it. So Sweet Low, pull up behind him, was like, hey, you want anything on your tray? Like, is there anything that you don't want? And he like, no, I was planning on eating, everything. So Sweet Low like, all right, bet. Well, you can have my cake. So he was like, for real? He said, yeah, you can have my cake, man. We good. You good. You my homeboy. So Tommy like, all right, bet. So Sweet Low like, where you sitting at? And he was like, I guess I'm sitting over there. He like, all right, bet. So Sweet Low go over there and sit right across from Tommy, right? Now, I can't hear what they talking about, but they both laugh. And, that's not out of the ordinary, but I know how Sweet Low get down. I know his tactics. I done seen it way too many times, right? So they over there laughing and they over there talking, they over there giggling, right? And then you see Sweet Low get up, right? And he like, when you stand behind somebody, you like whispering. Now I could be wrong, um, of what I seen, but I know what I seen. Sweet Low got up to this dude's ear and was whispering. I don't know what he said to him, but he got to like cringing, like smiling hard to white boy, and the white boy turned red, and Sweet Low just walked off. So I'm like, man, what the heck going on? So nevertheless, I'm like, all right, whatever. This is where this story is about to take an evil turn. Now, on Saturday, well, Friday night and Saturday, right? We get this CO by the name of Lopez, right? A younger Mexican cat. He was cool. And he would normally we'd have to lock down at 9 p.m. But sometimes Friday and Saturday when he working, he'll let us lock down maybe around 11, 12 o'clock, depending on the vibe of the pod. Show enough. Show enough. Sweet Low end up taking white boy Tommy right into his cell. Now, at this time, we had TVs in our cell too. Sweet Low didn't have no cellmate, right? All right, y'all. Now, a lot of y'all ask me, yo, Dante, why do you be telling these type of stories, man? Why do you, always talking about the booty bandits and stuff like that? Well, this is why. Number one, because there's a lot of people, a lot of young cats, a lot of young boys, right? A lot of YNs or whatever that is committing crimes, and they think everything is sweet, and they think that life is a bowl of cherries. They think they can just bust a gun, take somebody's life, and just think that, oh, ain't nothing gonna happen. Oh, or they say, well, it's a lot of punks up in there, so don't ain't nobody getting turned out. All right, says the guy, says the youngin that gets turned out every day. But anyway, Sweet Low take him in the cell. Now, what I hear is, hey, you got that cake? White boy Tommy like, what cake? The cake that I gave you earlier. He was like, nah, man, I ate it. I ate it. He said, you ate it? He was like, yeah. So Sweet Low, which is what they call him S, Sweet Low was like, hey, I need for you to do me a favor right quick. And white boy Tommy like, what is it? He was like, I need for you to go out there and get my cake. So Tommy like, what? Man, that's a joke, right? And Sweet Low slap him right in the face, smack him right in the face. And white boy Tommy like, man, what you do? And Sweet Low grab him by his mouth, tell him like, shut up, man, shut up. And he punch him in the side of the head, shut your mouth, right? He said, since you can't get my cake, you gonna give me something else. So white boy Tommy like, man, wait, I'm confused, man, because up until now, y'all, Sweet Low been laughing with him, giggling with him, giving him commissary, so-called being his homeboy, right? And now he done went from Beauty to the Beast. Now he done went to Mr. Jackal, Mr. Hyde, right? He done switched on him in the blink of an eye. So he tell him like, listen, take this Vaseline and dip it in your fingernails. He was like, what? For what? What's going on? Put your hands in this Vaseline. And he was like, all right, man. Now, I'm going to stop the story right there. I know y'all want me to go into detail and tell y'all what happened, but I'm not going to do that because this happens to a lot of cats in prison, and so I don't want to have anybody to relive their trauma, right? Because I get a lot of people that contact me when they listen to my stories, and you know, hey, I'm just trying to be social responsible. However, I have to proceed with this story. I'm gonna tell y'all some things, but not all. Sweet Low basically, he ended up doing it with him. Yeah, he ended up doing. I'm gonna say that he ended up being intimate with White Boy Tommy against White Boy Tommy will. So the reason why he told White Boy Tommy to take the grease and put it on his hands and stuff, so that way, if he goes out and go tell the guard like, hey, he did this to me, Sweet Low would tell the guards like, that's a lie, man. Check under his fingernails, man. He greased himself up. And I don't know why he trying to say, yeah, I did mess with him, but he wanted it. And you know, when they do their investigation, they'll see that, you know, White Boy Tommy had the grease on his fingernails. So that right there would just conclude like, oh, I guess he did want it. They call that an old penitentiary trick, right? I actually heard that from this booty bandit named Lamarck Moore, right? And he went into detail on how he do that. It's on turned out sexual assault, right? And that's what happened to White Boy Tommy. Check this out, y'all. If you gonna commit a crime, right, and you young and you don't want to listen to your mama, your daddy, your grandparents, whoever is taking care of you, and you end up striking out and ending up in a penitentiary, understand this. Nobody is going to give you anything for nothing. You understand? Nothing is free in prison. Nothing. So when somebody approach you being extra nice and trying to give you things, hey, don't take it. Or you might end up like White Boy Tommy.
Make sure y'all subscribe to my Patreon. The link will be pinned at the top of the comment section. All right, so listen, I'm a big dude. I'm 6'2". I'm about 240, 250, right? Now, I don't go out looking for trouble at all. I don't. But I'm not turning it down neither. You dudes that robbed me, well, let me tell y'all what happened. So, y'all know I don't drink. Y'all know I don't really go out like that. So, my homeboy, he just got out of the joint. So, you know, my homies called me. They're like, hey, yo, D, man, won't you step out? So-and-so just got out. It's a mosquito trying to get me, y'all. So-and-so just got out. Man, won't you come out? So, I'm like, no, man, I'm good, I'm straight, right? They're like, man, come on, Donta, you don't never come out. So I'm like, all right, man, whatever. So I tell my wife, like, hey, look, so-and-so just got out. The homies want me to, you know, go out with them. Can I go? Because, you know, it's just a respect thing. You know, I asked my wife, can I go places? It is what it is, right? She's like, yeah, go ahead. I ain't tripping off that. I'm like, all right, bet. So I keep my Lamborghini. That's right, y'all. I got a Lamborghini. I keep my Lamborghini at my dad's house because as y'all can see, I live on a dirt road, right? So I called my pops. I'm like, hey, pops, I'm about to come through. We'll get the car, whatever. He like, I bet. Right? Because he got his Harley Davidson, like, right in front of it. So, I jump in my truck and I go across town. And I move his bike out the way. And I jump in the Lambo. So, hold on. Let me make sure it's right. So anyway, I'm out in the Lambo. I got my Gucci shirt on, my Gucci pants on, my Gucci belt. I got my shades on and all that, right? So I hit the scene, right? Everybody looking like, man, who is that? I got the top down and everything, right? These mosquitoes killing me, y'all. I got the top down and everything. So people looking like, man, who is that, man? Who in the Lambo? Oh, that's Donta. I'm throwing up the deuce, So I pull up. Now, yes, it was a strip club. But like I said, my wife, she know me, she trusts me. So I pulls up at the strip club. I park right in front of the building. Because ain't no way I'm about to have this Lambo in the parking lot. That's not going to happen. Right? So I pull up in front. Security like, oh, what's up, Donta? Because I used to work security back in the day before I started doing social media. So, all my old security buddies and whatever, they're like, oh, what's up, D? What's up? And they're like, wait, we don't know if we can let you park right here. I said, well, go get the owner, right? Because me and the owner real cool. I had his number, but it was in the other cell phone, right? So, the owner come out. He like, oh, what's up, Donta, man? What's up, good? We do that. He actually a Crip, so we end up locking the C's. He's like, man, what's up, Donta? So we lock the C's, right? So I'm like, what's up? I said, hey, man, let me park right here. He like, man, I got you, man. Oh, you in the Lambo? Okay, I see you. I said, yeah, right. So then all my homies start showing up. We about 50 deep. Now, there's a part that I skipped, right? Now, I went to Chase Bank earlier that day and got out $30,000 in R1s. Now, I don't know if y'all know about money or whatever, but 30,000 in R1s is a lot of stacks, right? Like, boom, 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 right? So, on the passenger side, I got a big black bag, right, with $30,000 in it. And then I'm driving, so I done forgot the money was right there. 30,000 ain't shit to me. You know what I'm saying? So he like, all right, I bet. So I had one of my homeboys, grab the bag, whatever. So we go in there, right? When I say this strip club is packed out, it's packed out, right? So when I come through, the DJ like, oh shit, Donta up in this motherfucker, right? So I'm like, what up, right? Everybody dapping me up. I'm coming through, it's handshakes, it's Crips up in there, right? We locking the C's and all that, right? So I keep forgetting that I got $30,000 in this garbage bag, but I ain't really tripping. I mean, it's $30,000. You know what I'm saying? I spend that when I go to the mall. You feel me? But anyway, so we get in there, and they got a whole section for us, right? Now, when we get, they come with the bottles, the rosé, the Cristal, all that, right? So the girls start flooding in, right? They start coming in our section. So I stand up. I'm like, oh, hold up. Because if I'm going to be out doing me, I need what I want in this section. Every girl if you're not up to my standards, you can't be in this section. So I get up, I'm like, hold up. So I'm like, you can stay, you gotta go. You gotta go. Ain't that I'm being mean, but if I'm finna be spending money, I'm gonna spend it on what I want to spend it on. I mean, that's just how I am, right? So we get there, right? So I got, it's about 12 girls to my liking, right? So like I said, we in there about 50 deep. but I'm only letting about 15 of my guys be in the section with me. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, we doing what we doing, and I bust the bag open, right? Now, I give all my homies a stack. Hit 1,000 for you, 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 right? So everybody getting 1,000, right? Boom, 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 boom. And for my homies that didn't get a stack, cause only 30 guys got 1,000, you know, I got credit in this strip club or whatever. So I tell them, man, bring me another 1,000. I mean, give me another 30,000. Y'all know I'm good for it. So the owner come out, give me enough, so I hit everybody else off. Now I got 20 racks, right? So we in there, I'm throwing the money, you know, doing what I do. Keep in mind, y'all, I don't drink. Now, for some reason, I decided that I wanted to have a drink. Now, y'all know, for those that have been following me, y'all know I don't drink. But I decided to have a drink. So I got some Hennessy and Coke. Hennessy and Coke. And then I got some more Hennessy and Coke. And then I got some more Hennessy and Coke. Now, there was this one stripper, right? They call her Starlight. They call her Starlight. And I don't know, did she think I was some, I don't know, maybe she didn't know who I was. And this is the reason why I'm making this whole video. Because normally, y'all, like I said, I'm a big dude. I'm 6'2", right? I'm about, 240, 250, all muscle as y'all can see. But, so me drinking like that, my body fat and muscle is absorbing, you know, the alcohol. But here's the thing. I end up getting sloppy drunk, right? And I'm like, all right, y'all, I'm going to call it a night. Now, for some reason, I took another credit of $50,000, right? So I'm about 80,000 in the hole with the strip club, right? So I got 80,000 in the garbage bag, and I got it over my, you know, right here, over my shoulder like I'm Santa Claus, and I'm just throwing stacks out as I'm leaving out the club, right? Now the club owner, he ain't tripping because he know I got him. I get him the next couple days or whatever. We ain't tripping about that, right? So I get to the Lambo. I put the money right here. I put the money right there, right? And then I jump in the driver's seat. And next thing you know, somebody come and they put a gun to my head, right? They put a gun to my head. They like, yeah, get that shit up. Get that shit up, right? So I'm like, I got my hands up. I'm like, yeah, go ahead and take it. Go ahead and take it. I ain't tripping off that, right? Just don't pull the trigger, right? So next thing you know, another guy, or I'm thinking it's a girl, right, come to the passenger side and grab the garbage bag. This person took like $60,000, right? And they took off running. Now, the guy is still there telling me with the gun to my head. Now, I'm thinking about just, you know, doing one of them and taking the gun from him and doing him in, right? But I said, you know, I ain't tripping. I ain't trying to catch nobody, right? There's a lot of things I got to answer for on Judgment Day, but this ain't going to be one of them. I don't want to take another life. You know what I'm saying? I done took a lot of lives in prison. I done did so much dirt in prison. This just another thing I don't want to add to my resume. You feel me? So anyway, look, hey, if y'all haven't hit the like button yet, y'all make sure y'all hit the like button, all right? But anyway, so he's standing there with the gun and he rack it back, right? So in my head, I'm like, oh, now keep in mind the Lambo was already started. All I just got to put that boy in drive and hit the gas, right? But I'm thinking to myself, okay, he done racked the gun back, so in my mind, he about to shoot, right? So he done he done racked it back. And I said, for real? You gonna try to do me in and I just let you get the money? Right? So then he racked it back again and he said, boom, hit me up top of my head. Look, y'all. See, I got the bald head, as y'all can see. He hit me right there on top of the head, right? So I'm like, what? That hit me on top of the dome piece. So, boom, right? When he do that, I take off, right? Take off, right? Scur, I get up out of there. Now, the reason why I'm making this video is to put out a warning. Yo, whoever you are that robbed me for that $60,000, maybe you didn't know who I was. You know what I'm saying? Maybe, you know what I'm saying? I don't care about the 60,000. That ain't nothing but money. You know, money come in and money goes out. I ain't tripping off that. But you hit me with a gun on top of my head. So I'm letting you know right now. You got 72 hours. Because I know you might need to rent a U-Haul or you might need to relocate your family. You got 72 hours to get out of Detroit. In fact, get out of Michigan, period. You got 72 hours to get out of Michigan. Because if you don't, I'm putting $5 million out in the streets. I'm going to say that again. I'm putting $5 million out there in the street. Now, I'm not going to say what you get for the $5 million, but I'm telling you this. You got 72 hours to get out of Michigan because I'm putting $5 million in the streets. Because like I said, you didn't know. And you know, to make all this go away, all you got to do is apologize. That's it. I'm an honorable, forgiving, merciful man. You know, it's just money. I ain't tripping off the money. I'm tripping off you hit me in the head with a gun. That's the violation. The money, like I said, the money comes and goes. That's 60, 80,000 ain't nothing. But you got 72 hours to get in contact with me. 72 hours to apologize. And I'm going to leave it alone. But if I don't get no call in 72 hours, I'm putting $5 million in the streets. And I'm going to leave it at that. Check this out, y'all. No, we going to say that for later. But y'all make sure y'all hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed yet. And with that, y'all, this is the Donta Show Network. I'm out. Before we start this prison story, I have to give a disclaimer. Everything that I'm about to tell y'all is alleged. Everything I'm about to tell y'all is fake. Everything I'm about to tell y'all, if the justice system is listening, this is all a fabrication of my imagination. This is not real. It did not happen. Okay, y'all. So if we got that disclaimer out the way, let's get to it. So, back in 2001, there was this dude that we used to call Biggie. Now, this dude really looked like Biggie Smalls. Okay, so we in a pod, right? And we just came off our annual lockdown. Now, when we have these annual lockdowns, there's no movement. Whoever in your cell, they just in your cell, right? So we don't know who done came in this prison. We don't know who left. None of that, right? So when the doors pop, everybody, checking on everybody, seeing what's what, people collecting on old debts, all that, right? So the doors pop, and then Biggie walked in. Now, I knew Biggie from the streets of Flint, Michigan, on the north side. He stayed over there in Selby Hood. And Biggie, he was like a loner. He would just always be by himself. But I didn't really know him like that. But when you see somebody around the hood or whatever, yeah. And I know some of y'all might be wondering from Flint, Michigan, like, Donta, you from Selby Hood? No, I am not from Selby Hood at all. Okay, I'm from that hood over there on Moore Street. All right, but never mind. We ain't gonna get into all that. But anyway, so Biggie walk in. So I'm looking. I'm like, man, that's Biggie. So I'm like, yo, big, right? And he looked. Now he didn't sound like Biggie Smalls at all, but man, I promise to God, man, y'all, he looked like Biggie. So he was like, "What up, Dante? What up?" I said, "Man, Biggie, what happened, bro? What happened?" He was like, "Man, hey, man, you know." Now, when somebody from Flint, Michigan, when you ask them something while they was locked up, they always say, you know. Normally, it's dealing with drugs. Normally, it's dealing with catching a body. It's something in that realm, right? But I'm telling y'all, he wasn't in there for no violence. He wasn't in there for no drugs. He wasn't in there for none of these things for him to say, man, you know. No, y'all. He was in there for something way worse. Now, I'm going to go ahead and cut. No, I got to finish telling y'all the story. So anyway, I'm like, hey, man, who cell you in? Who cell you in? He was like, I'm in 4A. I said, man, that's my cell. He was like, oh, I got to, okay, bet. Right? Now, I'm not going to lie to y'all. And maybe, I know this might sound messed up, but I never really liked having like a big cellmate. And when I say like a big cellmate, like a big dude, like a overweight guy, because in the summertime we sweat, and we sweat a lot. And I had this big dude, like I told y'all, when I first got locked up, not first got locked up, but when I did my first bid, I ended up stabbing my bunkie because he was a big guy. And he was farting all the time and laughing, and he was just doing the most. And I ended up, poking him up or whatever. But I always had a little bias against big guys being in my cell. But for my understanding, even on the streets, Biggie was a really clean dude, right? He stayed clean. So anyway, he come in the cell or whatever, and I'm already, rearranging my things or whatever. Because on this annual lockdown, I was in there by myself. So he come in there, and, I'm breaking down the rules because he ain't never did no time before. Now, of course, being from Flint, Michigan, he done did a little county time here and there, whatever, but he ain't never did time. So I let him know, like, okay, look, this how it is. When you use the bathroom, sit down. And he looking at me like, what? I said, no, ain't nothing like that, man. And I'm telling you to sit down because if you stand up and pee, it's going to hit the back of the toilet. It's going to hit the floor, right? However these toilets is designed, it's just like that. So if you can, man, just sit down and pee. And if you do going to stand up and pee, just make sure you clean up around the toilet. He was like, man, listen, Dante, look, I know how to program, bro. You ain't got to tell me nothing. I got it. I know keep people out the cell, all this and that. I said, I bet. Right? So for the next, we just going to skip 5 days later. Now, we on the yard, right? And everybody's showing Biggie some love. Now, we are over here rapping or whatever, and no Biggie couldn't rap. But you know, everybody think they're a rapper. So we all over here in this circle on the yard by the basketball court rapping or whatever, right? So my homeboy Al was like, "Hey, man, Biggie, what you in here for, man? What did you do?" And he like, "Man, you know, man, it's man, you already know." So Al like, "No, what did you do?" And he like, "Man, I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it." Let me tell you all something real quick. If somebody is apprehensive of telling you what they did, then 9 times out of 10, it's a bad charge. A super violated. I mean, there's reasons why people wouldn't tell what they did. Like, say, for instance, they took somebody's life and that person that person life that they took, they family member in there, and they don't want it to get out. But, you know, dealing with, you know, phone calls and, you know, because anybody can call on the street and figure out what you did or whatever. But most guys be apprehensive to tell, like for me, for instance, right? I had felonious assault. I had great bodily injury on a peace officer. So, yeah, I'm going to say it. Like, yeah, this is what I did to get locked up or whatever. But when, and I ain't trying to make a glorification of, you know, oh, well, I was a robber, I was this, I was that. No, I'm not trying to say that. But you kind of proud of what you did to get in there, if that make any sense. Only a man that's not proud of what he did is, you know what I'm saying? And then it's just all of us homies kicking it, right? So, again, Biggie, what did you do? Oh, man, you know, no, we don't know. So now the conversation getting serious. So Al like, no, but for real though, what did you do to get in here? And Biggie was like, man, I'm going to holler at y'all later. So he walk off. So we all looking at each other. So I'm like, I gave Al that nod, like, yeah, go get on the phone. Go get on the motherfucking phone right now, so we know what's happening with this dude, right? Because we eating meals with him. He walk in the yard with us. We need to, you know what I'm saying? We need to make sure we know if this dude's straight up, right? So Al, he go and, you know, he jump on the phone or whatever, right? So I see Al about 30 minutes later. He was like, yeah, he got a sealed case. I said, what? Like, yeah, his case is sealed. I said, what you mean his case is sealed? He like, I don't know. Now, if you got a case that's sealed, that means you a snitch. That means you done told on somebody. Something done happened in your paperwork that you done testify. Something done happened for you to have your case sealed. So we have an emergency meeting, you know, me and the homies. And, you know, Al letting everybody know, like, you know, Biggie, you know, his case is sealed and whatever, but this what we gonna do. We gonna catch him at dinner time, and, you know, we gonna put that pressure on him, and we gonna make him tell us what he did. Right? So I'm like, all right, bet. Now, let me tell y'all something right quick. I'm just gonna be real with y'all. My philosophy of snitching is this, okay? Because the world got it messed up. If me and you go commit a crime together, and I get caught and you don't get caught, and I say, hey, this guy was with me, that is a snitch. That person need to, well, I can't say that on YouTube, but just know that person should leave this earth, okay? Now, if I'm on my porch and somebody is breaking into my neighbor's house and I call the police, that's not snitching. That's not snitching at all, okay? If I'm somebody just out with my family and somebody busts me upside the head, well, I'm going to get my get back anyway. But you have the right to call the police, okay? If you're not a criminal, okay, which I am not, you can call the police. That's what they there for. And furthermore, let me put this out, because I know some of you real cats out there gonna be like, oh, Dante, that ain't real, man. You playing police games. Let me tell y'all real niggas something. Every day in my city, somebody getting shot. Every day in my city, let me stop saying my city. The city that I live in is so much violence here. I stay in a good area. And I done heard some gunshots maybe about 4-5 streets away from me. And I'm like, yeah, it's time to go. It's time to go. And you know what? Since we talking, let's go ahead and get the question of the day out. Would y'all rather live in the city, or would y'all rather live in the country? Let me know in the comment section. But think about the pros and cons about that. All right? Me, since I'm getting just a little bit of money, I'm not rich or nothing at all. You know, I'm still living in poverty. But I'd rather live out in the country. I'm just saying, for real. But anyway, let's get back to the story. So, yeah. Y'all make sure y'all let me know what y'all gonna put where y'all living at, in the city or the country. All right, so let's continue the story. So now, you know, it's almost dinner time, and Biggie is in the cell. So me and the whole crew, we just bum rush the cell. And he like, oh, what's going on? What's going on? So I pull out the sword of justice, right? For those that don't know what the sword of justice is, because if this is your first time tuning in, the sword of justice is a knife, okay? So I pull it out immediately, let him know I'm not playing with you. I said, Biggie, what you locked up for? He was like, man, y'all, I told y'all I don't want to. As soon as he said, man, I told y'all I don't want to, I instantly, see, he was sitting at the bottom bunk. I let him get the bottom bunk because he a big guy. I ain't want him climbing over me and all that, right? So I rushed him real quick and I put the knife at his neck. I said, Biggie, stop fucking playing with me, man. What the fuck is you in here for? He like, come on, man. I don't want to talk about it. I want to talk about it. I said, what you mean you ain't going to be able to breathe in a minute, man? I'm about to take your life. He like, man, okay, hold on, man. So I ain't gonna lie, y'all. I cut him a little bit to let him know I ain't playing. I just, nicked him on the neck, like a little razor cut, nothing really deep. Right? So I said, so what's happening? What's happening? He was like, man, all right, listen. But I didn't do it. I'm like, man, what would you, man, just tell us, what the fuck did you do? He was like, man, they said that I touched my neighbor's daughter. I said, what? He was like, man, listen, my neighbor, she always was going to the club. You know them trifling mamas that always just leaving their kids with anybody. I said, okay. He was like, well, one day, the kid was outside at 1:00 in the morning. So I told her to, I knocked on the door, yelled at her. I was like, hey, Tanisha, you here? You here, Tanisha? And nobody said anything. So I took the girl and I brought her to my house. Next thing I know, it's like 7:00 in the morning, and Flint police and the state police, Michigan State Police, they all outside my crib talking about let the kid go. Let the kid go and all this and that. Like it was some type of hostage thing. So I said, what? He was like, yeah. I said, so why did they seal your document? He was like, man, I don't want to talk about it. Now, I know some of y'all wondering, like, yo, Dante, why would they seal his, why would they seal it if he got bad charges? This is where this story finna take a crazy turn, y'all. So he like, yeah, so, I came outside with the girl and I had my hands up and, I told him this is just a misunderstanding. I was telling him like, yo, the lady wasn't there and her kid was out at 1:00 in the morning, but they weren't trying to hear that. And she crying and screaming, talking about he touched my daughter and all this and that. But I didn't touch her, this was like a regular thing of her leaving her unattended. So they take him to the county jail. They process him, all this and that. He like, okay, yeah. I'm innocent. Ain't nothing gonna happen. I didn't do anything. They take the little girl to Hurley Hospital and they do a kit. You know, they perform a kit on her. Y'all know I can't say the word on here, but they perform a kit on her, and it turns out that her hymen thing was broke. Now, here's the thing: they charged him with that, and they said that he did it. Now, he said that there was no DNA evidence, none of that, and to his understanding, somebody else did that to her, right? So he said they just charged him with it. So instead of him coming to prison for this, he snitched. Y'all like, Donta, if he got convicted of this, no. So what y'all don't know is, yeah, you can go to jail for a bad charge for sure. But if you can get them folk some crazy information via drug deals and drug dealers and all that. You see, Biggie knew a lot of drug dealers in a lot of hoods because he smoked crack. And one thing about dope fiends is that, yeah, y'all, Biggie was a dope fiend. One thing, a functioning dope fiend. But one thing about dope fiends, they know everybody's business. So he cut a deal. He told his lawyer, like, listen, man, I didn't do this, but the lawyer like, hey, man, but they still gonna hit you with it, man. They gonna charge you with it, and 9 times out of 10, you gonna get convicted. You know, this is a public offender too, y'all. So he like, well, I got some information about a lot of people, right? A whole lot of people. So the lawyer like, well, I can run him by the prosecutor. And he like, well, I know this guy, he do this guy, he do that. Matter of fact, you know, I can, if y'all can, you know, look out for me, I can get y'all a lot of guys, right? So he like, okay, I'll run it by the prosecutor and the judge or whatever. Now they come back and they tell Biggie like, okay, we'll give you a deal. And he like, so what's the deal? Now, the original time that he was gonna get for so-called violating this girl, because I don't know if he did it or not. And the reason why I say that is because when a parent leaves their child with any and everybody and leave them unattended, any predator could have done anything, right? And maybe Biggie just got caught with the hot potato. Who knows? I don't know, right? But nevertheless, he was looking at 10 to 20 years for that, right? Now, with all the information that Biggie gave and all the arrests and all that of him snitching and whatever, they never really told Biggie how much time reduction they was going to get him for working with the people. Guess what, y'all? They didn't give him a damn thing. Nothing. In fact, the prosecutor said, well, we're going to make a recommendation to the judge because you cooperated. He should have got way more detail. He should have got way more. Yeah, so he snitched for nothing, y'all. In fact, the judge actually gave that dude 30 years for what he did. And this is why his record was sealed, right? So I'm like, Biggie. He like, man, Donta, I didn't, bruh. I didn't. That little girl, man, I said, no, we passed that. We passed that, man. He like, yeah, I know, man. I know. I said, you got to get out the cell, man. And I know. Some of y'all like, well, Donta, you say you don't care about the snitching thing. You don't care. No, but y'all got to understand, man. I was, and for the authorities out there, this is all fake. This is not real. I was the head of an organization. And me being the boss, ain't no way I can be in a cell with somebody that was snitching that hard. Snitching at all. Y'all got to understand what type of man I was back then. I was an honorable man, of prestigious man of all men. I was the pure picture of what a man is. And there's no way I had to walk a straight line. You know what I'm saying? I had to damn near be perfect the way I was programming. You hear me? But anyway, so I'm like, well, you got to get out of here, bro. You got to get out. And I'm looking at everybody. I'm like, and from this day forth, we have no association with him at all. No association at all. Don't give him nothing. Can't talk to him. None of that. So he was like, all right, man, all right. But I'm just telling you, man, I didn't do that. I said, man, it don't matter, man. You got to go roll out. So we gonna fast forward, y'all. We gonna fast forward 5 years later. Now, they done transferred me up north, right? Now, I didn't go to a maximum. This was like a level 4. Now, I was up there for about 3 months, and I ran into some Flint dudes or whatever. And, you know, we just kicking and we just talking or whatever. They tell me, like, hey, man, like, where you came from and all this and that. So I'm telling them, like, blah, 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 blah. And they're like, hey, you know, you heard this dude named Biggie? I was like, yeah, I know Biggie. And then they got to telling me what he did or whatever. And I'm like, oh, okay. Because I already knew, and somehow they found out whatever. So I'm like, okay. And they was like, man, you know he a sissy now, right? I said, what? It was like, yeah, Biggie is sissy, man. Biggie was, yeah, Biggie is a boy now. For those that don't know what a boy is, it's basically a LGBTQ guy, whatever. So they like, yeah, he a boy now. I was like, that's crazy, right? So nothing eventful took place in this prison, right? This was actually like a chill level 4, right? Because everybody there just wanted to work their way down and get back to a level 1 or level 2, right? Because we didn't have no type of privileges here. So nothing eventful happened in this prison. So I end up, you know, getting my points lowered or whatever. And they end up sending me to a level 2, right? Here we go, y'all. So this level 2 that I was at, it was like the hood. In fact, it was like the projects. Everything that you can think of was in there, right? All type of drugs, TVs, DVD players, everything that you can think of except for a woman, right? So I get with my people or whatever, and we walk in the yard, right? So everybody introducing me to everybody from Detroit and Flint and all that or whatever, Saginaw. So we all just kicking and whatever. And I'm looking, I see this dude with like red hair, like with a red weave. And I'm looking, and I'm like, hey, who? I'm talking to my homeboy Ken. I said, hey, who is that? And he's like, oh man, this Biggie. This Biggie. I got up because we was on the bleachers. I stood up. I was like, oh my God. Because I done forgot, you know, up north they told me Biggie turned into, you know, an LGBTQ type of guy. And I'm like, what? Man, y'all listen. Biggie was turned off the way. I'm talking about turned sideways. Biggie done had, like, you know that song, Living My Life Like It's Golden. Living my life like it's golden. That's what Biggie remind me of. This dude was like living his truth. Or maybe I should say living his life. Living a lie. This dude, when I say this dude was straight flamed up, I'm talking about he had the orange weave. Don't ask me how he got it. I don't know. This dude done paid somebody to alter his clothing. I'm talking about he had tight state pants on. This dude had, I'm talking about he had the full. And keep in mind, y'all, Biggie is big. Like, he's a big dude. I'm not talking about a muscular dude. I'm talking about like a really big, heavy set type of dude. So I'm looking down, they like, yeah, Biggie be around here tricking, man, and he real messy, right? So I'm like, man, so then He look over. Cause I'm standing up on the bleachers, y'all, and I told y'all I'm like a sight to see. I'm like 6'2", 250, right? So is not. I'm not hard to miss. So Biggie looking, and you know when you like when the sun is in your eye and you put your hand to your forehead and you looking up, Biggie is looking up at me, and he looked, and then he started walking over here, and they're like, "Oh, here come Biggie, here come Biggie." So he walked over there and he put his hands on his hip. He like, "Do I know you? Do I know you?" Like, I'm talking about Biggie whole voice done changed, y'all. I said, "Biggie, man, it's Donta, man." He was like, "Oh, I thought I knew you," and he turned away and walked off. So they looking at me like, "Hey, man, what's up?" I'm like, "Man, I knew Biggie when he was Biggie." I said, I don't know this guy. I don't know who this dude is now. When I met Biggie, I knew Biggie on the streets, and in the last prison I was in, you know, we put him on the glass for being a snitch and whatever. So they like, "Oh, okay," cause they looking at me like, "Hey, you like know this dude Biggie?" I'm like, "Nah, hell no," right? Let me tell y'all something. Jesus is Lord. I'm out. If y'all forgot to hit the like button, y'all make sure y'all hit that like button. Also, y'all make sure y'all sign up for my Patreon. I'm going to have that link pinned at the top of the comment section. Y'all be blessed. I'm out. And be safe out there, y'all. This story is about a guy that ended up taking the life of a mama, a daddy, and an uncle. Let's get into the story. So, this dude named Calvin, a.k.a. Cal, was like, "Hey, baby, you want something from the grocery store?" He talked to his girlfriend. She like, "Yeah, give me some Cinnamon Toast Crunch and some apple juice." He like, "All right, then, bet." So he get in this brand new truck. He done had this truck maybe for 10 days now. So he jump in the truck and he start going down the street. Now he's 2 blocks away from his house when a kid comes running in the middle of the street. Now he had a split second to make a decision. Do I hit this kid or do I swerve to the left and go into this ditch? So naturally, he swerves to the left and boom, he ended up running into this ditch, totaling the whole front of this brand new truck that he just got a couple days ago. Now, yes, y'all, he do have insurance, but it's PLPD. If anybody know what PLPD is, it's just enough insurance to have you legal. It's not gap insurance. It don't give you nothing. If you basically got to pay for your damages, and if you hit somebody, you pay for their damages. But if you wreck your own car or whatever, that's on you. So boom, bam, he's sitting there. You know, people coming outside because this was like a big noise, right? This man is within this ditch. So he like, man, what the heck? He coming too. You know, people coming to the driver's side door like, hey, you all right, man? You good? You straight? He like, yeah, I'm good. What the little kid at? What that little kid at? They like, what little kid? He was like, it was a kid in the middle of the road. That's why I swerved. Well, where the kid at? So they was like, we ain't seen no kid. He was like, please, God, please tell me I didn't hit that kid. Please tell me I didn't hit that kid. Please, God. Right? So he's walking out the ditch and he sees the kid across the street. Now, the kid, dad, and his mom is right there. And so he's walking up to them like, hey, little man, you good? You straight, man? So the kid just ran behind his dad, and the dad like, what you talking about? He was like, your kid, man, he ran in the street, so, you know, I had to, you know, go that way, and I'm just trying to make sure he good. So the dad like, my kid wasn't in the street. So Cal like, what? What you mean he wasn't in the street? He was in the street. That's why I ended up going into the ditch. So the dad like, hey, homie, I don't know what you talking about, man. I don't know what you talking about, but move around. So Cal like, what? Man, what you mean move around? Man, if it wasn't for your kid, so you mean this, so I should have just hit your kid then, huh? I should have just hit the mother effer right then. I should have just hit him, right? Nah, hell no. Y'all gotta pay for that. Y'all gonna have to pay for this, man. No. So the dad like, man, I ain't paying for nothing. My kid wasn't in no street, man. So Cal like, look, bruh, I ain't gonna argue with you. Man. Your kid was in the street. That's why I end up in the dang ditch. I could have hit him, but I swerved and went that way. So what you mean? So the mama was like, don't you got insurance? She was real ratchet too. Don't you got insurance? He like, man, forget all that, man. Hey, y'all gonna have to come up off that. So the dad like, man, I ain't coming off for nothing. So Cal was like, so I should have just hit him then, huh? I should have just hit him then, right? Now, Calvin yelling, the parents yelling back at him. Now the police now pulling up. So they jump out the car. They're like, oh, what's going on? So they separate the two parties or whatever. One cop take Cal over here and the other two cops, talk to the parents over here. So the cop asked Cal like, hey, so what's going on, man? He like, look, man, I was going to the grocery store for my girl. The kid over there ran in the middle of the street, and I had to hurry up and bust a left so I wouldn't hit him, and I ended up in the ditch. They talk about that ain't their problem and all this and that, and that's just what happened. So he like, okay, you got some ID? Y'all know how the cops is. They gotta, run your ID to make sure that you ain't got no warrants or you ain't no fugitive or anything like that, right? So they run this ID. They see that he do got insurance. So they like, okay, you good. So then the other cop is done talking to them. So the the three cops come together and they talking and they come to Cal like, listen, we already called you a tow truck. It's on the way. But as far as them paying you anything out of pocket or whatever, nah, we can't enforce that. He like, for what? It was the kid. He like, wait, hold on. Listen, y'all. Listen. This is a civil matter. We cannot do anything. Okay, we can give you this police report, and that's about it. Outside of that, do you got somebody coming? Did you call for a ride to pick you up? Whatever. He was like, oh yeah, let me call my girl. So he get on the phone, babe, look, I got into an accident down the street, like right down the street, like come towards the north side. And she like, oh, okay. So the cop like, okay, here come the tow truck, right? So his girl pulled up too. So she get out of the car like, baby, what happened? He like, man, this kid ran in the middle of the street, and I had to go this way so I wouldn't hit him. But they talking about he wasn't in the street and all this and that. So he was like, matter of fact, come on, man, just take me home, man, take me home. So the tow truck guy like, hey, where you want me to take this? He like, just follow us. We right up the street, whatever. So they get up there, they take care of the tow truck driver. They done put the car in the driveway and all this and that. So he get in the house. So she was like, baby, do you want to go to the hospital or anything? He like, man, no, man, I'm good. I'm straight, but man, they really made me mad, man. They talking about they ain't gonna pay. It ain't they fault and all this and that. I just bought that dang truck, man. I just bought that truck, man. Man, bunk that, man. I'll be back, baby. I'll be back. She like, well, where's you going? He said, I'll be back, man. I'll be back. So he leaves out the house. Now, he goes to the garage and he got a sawed-off shotgun, right? So he go grab it out the garage and he put it on the passenger side, and then he get in the car and he go right back down the street. Now, at this time, about 4 of they family members done pulled up. The kid that was in the street. Well, about 4 or 5 family members done pulled up. So they deep. It's about 10 or 11 of them outside in the front yard. Now, he pulls up and he jump out of the car. He like, yo, what's happening? They like, what's up? What's up? He like, so y'all ain't gonna pay me? Who gonna take care of that, man? So the dad like, man, hey, bro, man, move around, bro. I already told you, man. Man, our kid went in the street, man. You tripping, bro. You, man, get up out of here, man, before you get pounded out, right? So he like, what? He was like, man, get the fuck away from my house, dog. I told you we ain't giving you nothing, man. Get it back in blood. So Cal was like, okay, say less. Say less. So they like, what? So he jogs back to the car and he opened the passenger door. He pulled out that sword off. So they like, hey, man, what you doing? What you doing? He like, no, you said get it back in blood, right? Get it back in blood, right? So they're like, man, hold on, man, chill. Now, it's always a tough guy. There's always a tough guy in the crowd that think that they made of titanium, that think that bullets just won't hurt them. So you got this one dude like, man, bust it then. Bust it. If you gonna pull it then, bust it. Bust it then, right? What they don't know is Cal, a.k.a. Calvin, is a killer. Cal got a couple bodies under his belt, okay? So this dude taunting him, talking about pull it. If you gonna pull it, use it. He don't know what he's asking for. And well, Cal got the bust it. Boom, boom, right? Boom, boom, boom. Then he runs and jump in the car and stab out. Now, we've got to do the question of the day, and then we're going to get back to the story. The question of the day is this, y'all. Was Cal wrong? Was Calvin wrong for going back down the street and confronting them? Let me know in the comment section. Was he wrong or was he right? Let me know in the comment section, all right? And if y'all haven't hit the like button at this point, y'all hit that like button, all right? Let's continue this story. So he stabbed out. He hit a couple of corners, right? He ended up going to this little pond. He ended up taking the gun, breaking it down, threw it in the river, right? We're in the pond or whatever. Then he sped off and he went back home. Now, they don't know that Cal stayed up the street at all. But when they called the police or whatever, the police already knew exactly where to go, right? Because they had his information earlier. So he's sitting on the couch, sweating and looking crazy. And this girl like, Cal, what's up with you? What did you just do? He like, man, I had to, baby. I had to, man. They tried to play me like I was a punk, man. They tried to play me. She was like, Cal, what did you do? What did you do, Cal? He said, man, babe, I had to do it. I had to do it. About 20 minutes will go by. Now, the sun was setting, and his whole front yard filled up with red and blue lights, right? So his girl like, Cal, what did you do? Well, what did you do, Cal? He said, babe, I had to drop them fools, man. She said, Cal, no. So now you got the police on a bullhorn. They like, Calvin, come out. Come out with your hands up. Come out. He like, man, babe, I love you, man. So he gave her a kiss. She was like, Cal, no, just wait. He said, no, babe, I just gotta go. I gotta go. So he opened up the side door. He had his hands up. He started walking out. You know how the cops do it. Turn around. Walk back to us slow. Slow down. Get down to your knees. Put your hands out. Interlace your fingers. You know, that whole jazz, right? So they run up on him. They handcuff him. They take him on to the county jail. Now, Cal is in the county jail. And you know, they do the process. They process him, doing this, doing that, and they end up putting him in the bullpen, right? Now, fast forward to 2 weeks later. 2 weeks later, the people down the street, right, found out. The people down the street, family, found out that Calvin's girlfriend stayed up the street. You see what I'm saying? Now, when Calvin bust that gun, he didn't realize who he hit. He hit the daddy, he hit the mama, and he hit her auntie and her uncle. But the uncle survived, right? The guy that was running his mouth talking about pull it. If you gonna pull it, use it. He didn't even get hit, y'all. It always be that way. The loudest dude, the dude that's irrational be the one that get everybody hit and he don't even get hit, right? But anyway, so Cal is locked up. His girl is at the house all by herself. One of the family members find out that Cal stayed 2-3 blocks up the street on the same street. So they like, oh, okay, bet. So he took our loved one, so let's go shoot up his house. So she up there, in the yard, and she's sitting on the porch talking to somebody on the phone. So this red Impala with tinted windows ride by. And then about 5 minutes later, it ride by again. And then like 3 minutes later, it ride by again. So she on the phone and she like, hey, I don't know who she talking to, but she talking to somebody. She like, hey, man, it's this red car that keep on riding past the house, man, and they keep slowing down like they looking over here. I can't see who in there, right? So then, as soon as she said that, the car came right back around the corner, and the windows went down, and boom, 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 right? Gunfire came from the windows. So she like, oh. So she jumped on the ground, right? Now, they didn't stop the car. They just basically did a drive-by. Then they took off, right? So she like, oh, my God. So she grabbed her phone and run in the house. And so she called the police like, somebody just shot up my house. Somebody shot up my house. They just tried to shoot me. So the cops pull up. They get over there. They take her statement or whatever. So they like, do you got family, the house that you could stay at? Do you know who could have did this? So she was like, I don't know, but it could have been the people down the street. My boyfriend ended up doing something to their people, and this might be something like some revenge type of thing. So they like, all right, well, we gonna go check it out. Of course, they go down the street. The red car ain't there. Nobody answering the door, right? So the cops come right back up the street like, listen, if you can go somewhere tonight, just go, and everything, we'll just call us if you need us, basically. Here's a report number. Be safe. If you can leave, leave. So she like, okay, thank you, right? Now, this woman ain't got nowhere to go, y'all. She ain't got nowhere to go, so she have to stay here, right? So Cal ended up calling her around 10 a.m. the next morning. So she answered the phone. You got a collect call from, it's Cal. Inmate at blah, 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 blah. To accept charges, press 1. So she answered. She like, baby, somebody shot the house up. He like, what? She like, yeah, somebody shot the house up, man. He like, man, is you all right? Is you good? She like, yeah, I am, but I was sitting on the porch, and it was a red Impala just kept riding past, and they was shooting at me like they was trying to hit me. He was like, oh my man, these yeah, he said a lot of cuss words that I can't put on here. He like, these motherfucking cowards, man. They trying to, man, you ain't got nothing to do with that. Man. This some bullshit. Man, that's the God, right? He like, can you go to your mama house? She like, man, I can't, man. I can't go nowhere. He like, well, look, baby, I gotta call you back, man. Let me make some moves, right? I'm gonna call you back. She like, all right, love you, Cal. He like, I love you too. So he get off the phone. Now, for the sake of the time of this video, I'm going to have to end it right here. And I'm going to put part 2 on the Patreon. Part 2 is going to be crazy, y'all. So y'all make sure y'all click the link to my Patreon so y'all can see part 2. With that, y'all, again, who was in the right, who was in the wrong? Should the parents have just said, yeah, we'll pay for the damages since their kid was in the street? Or was Calvin in the right for going up there, checking them, and hey, it is what it is? Y'all let me know in the comment section. For part 2, I'll see y'all on the Patreon. Don't forget to hit the like button if y'all haven't hit the like button already. And with that, y'all, this is the Donta Show Network. Oh, yeah, I forgot, y'all. I'm still doing promotions. If you need your business, your social media channel, or product promoted, get in contact with me. My contact information will be pinned at the top of the comment section. With that, y'all, this is your big partner, the best storyteller on social media. I'm out. Welcome to another episode of the Donta Show Network Storytime. Today, I have an unfortunate story to tell y'all about my cousin Blake. Now, for those that don't know, I moved to Atlanta a lot when I was in my teenage years. From like 14 to 17, I was going back and forth from Flint, Michigan to Atlanta, right? We was unstable. My mama kept moving back and forth for whatever reason, right? Now, I had this cousin named Blake, and Blake stayed in trouble, right? And this was my favorite cousin in the A. He was my favorite cousin. We used to run the streets together. We used to get on girls together. We used to go to Stonecrest Mall and snatch purses and all type. We used to rob drug dealers together. We used to rob prostitutes. We used to do it all back then. This was like in the early 2000s, right? No, yeah. Like 2003, 2004, around that time. So anyway, Blake kept getting locked up. Now, when I would go back to Flint, it's like we had stopped talking. It was just like that. It was like out of sight, out of mind, right? So I heard the last time I heard about him when I was 17, I believe. And I heard that he unalived somebody. Him and one of my brothers was robbing people or whatever, and they end up taking somebody's life. And, well, he ended up getting life without parole. And my brother ended up getting, I think, 25 to life. So that's that. So anyway, I'm going to say 2 weeks ago, I went down there. I was in the A taking care of some business. And I went to go visit him. Nothing prepared me for what I saw. So, and in the prisons down there, you can have contact visits, meaning you go like in a room, and there's like 20 metal desks there, whatever, where like 4 or 5 people can sit at, and your family come in and all that jazz, and then your loved one is already sitting there. So I come in there with my auntie, right? And I'm looking for him. Now this dude ain't nothing but 5'5", 5'6", right? He always was on the short end, but he was stocky. So I'm looking for him, and then my auntie like, there you go right there. So we walking towards him, but I'm not recognizing him at all. Y'all listen. My cousin got red hair, and looked so feminine. My heart dropped. My whole heart just collapsed. Listen, y'all, I'm 38. I ain't seen this dude in what? Last time I seen him, I was 17. So 17 times 2 is 34. I ain't seen this dude in 21 years, y'all. 21 years. And this is my cousin. So we sit down, right? And he looking at me, and I was like, well, what's up, Blake? He was like, oh, what's up, Dante? Oh, what's up, cuz? What's up, cuz? Y'all, I didn't know how to feel. I did not know how to feel because this was my favorite cousin, and I know what this prison life is. You know, my cousin got turned out, or he decided to be that. So my auntie was like, I can't do this. I can't do this. So she get up. He like, mama, mama. She like, no, I can't do this, Blake. I can't do this. So she walk off, right, crying. So he like, man, this some bull. This some BS, shouty. This some BS, shouty. I said, Blake, what happened? He was like, man, could you go get my mama back? Could you go get my mama back for me? Can you please tell her to come back? So I said, yeah, give me a minute, man. So I get up and I go to the guard, and the guard like, hey, no, she left. She left the building. Like, she gone. She in the parking lot. So I come back. I'm like, no, she gone. She gone, cuz. He like, man, I thought this was the time for her to see me like this. I said, how long have you been like this? He was like, man, I've been like this for the last, 10 years. I said, well, what happened, Blake? He like, well, what you mean what happened? I said, like, this. Like, what you got going on? He was like, man, Dante, man, look, I'm not never getting out of here, man. This is my life. And no, I wasn't like this out in the street, but I mean, just who I am now. I'm just, this is me. I'm Bella. I said, what? He said, man, look, Dante, man, you been locked up before. You know how it is. I said, no, I don't know how it is. He was like, man, bruh, look, man, this is just who I am. And man, maybe I should never came out here like this. Yeah, I should never came out here like this. I said, Blake, what happened? He was like, hey, stop. Could you not disrespect me and just call me Bella? I said, Blake, I'm not calling you no Bella, man. That's not gonna happen. That's not gonna happen. I said, man, but forget all that, man. But how you been? How you been? He was like, well, I mean, I just been living. I'm in prison. I said, you all right in here? He was like, well, it's more than I can be. I mean, the best that I can be, you know, but I mean, yeah, I'm just here. So as we talking, this big light-skinned bald head dude comes strolling through, right? And he like, who is this? He talking to my cousin. He like, who is this? This ain't your mama. And he was like, no, this my like his whole voice changed, y'all. Y'all know that voice that, you know, them type of dudes be putting on. He was like, this my cousin. This my cousin. This my cousin. So the dude was like, yeah, it better be. It better be. He was like, man, go on, man. Stop tripping, man. This my cousin. And the dude walked off and started talking to his people. So I'm like, who was that? He was like, oh man, this dude I be talking to up in here, man. He be tripping. So when he said that, y'all, my heart got crushed again because I'm like, this dude is a whole homosexual up in here, man. And I'm like, dog, what happened, man? What happened? He was like, man, I told you, you know, I got life without parole, man. This is how I want to live my life. This just me. Y'all, I couldn't take it no more. I couldn't. Because the memories that I had with this guy, man, we was robbing people, right? And I'm not, listen. Let's get this straightened out right quick. Because I don't want y'all at all thinking that what I'm saying is that I'm gloating and glorifying what I used to do. Because that was ignorant and stupid for me to be robbing people, okay? But me and this dude had real history. robbing people, hollering at girls, stealing cars. You know what I'm talking about? All that. Just hanging out all night, running the streets of Atlanta. And this is who he is now. And I just, like I say, I've been holding on to this story for 2 weeks now, y'all, because I finally done got out. I done got over it now, right? But, and I know some of y'all in the comment section might be like, "Oh, well, Dante, it's your cousin. You got to still love him." I got love for him, y'all, but this, it hurt me. It hurt me. It really did to see a family member like that. I mean, like that. Oh, Lord have mercy. Right? So I end up getting up from the table. He like, where you going? I said, man, I got to go, bro. I can't see you like this, man. I got to go. He was like, man, bro, don't leave me, man. I still got 20 minutes, man. I got 20 minutes. I said, man, I got to go, man. I'm out, man. You be safe. And I leave outright. When I look back, y'all, when I was about to get buzzed through the door, I looked back at him, y'all. And he was just looking so sad. Like, really sad. And I actually, look, y'all, I'm 6'2". I weigh about 250 pounds. Damn fat and muscle. I'm a really big guy. But that right there broke me. It broke me. It broke me in half. So when I left out the door, you know, to get processed out or whatever, I bust out and started crying. And I'm not a man that just always cry. I'm not, y'all. But I just bust out and started crying because I was so hurt. So I leave out the main doors or whatever, and I'm walking towards the car with my auntie, right? And I get in the car, and she starts the car up, and we just drive. We don't even say nothing to each other, right? So we get back to her house or whatever, and, you know, my wife asked me, yo, how did it go? How did it go? I said, babe, I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it. So, and listen, y'all, I was so hurt and so stressed out. Y'all know I don't smoke. Y'all know I don't. I asked my auntie, because she smoked cigarettes. She smoked Newport cigarettes. I said, hey, auntie, can I get one of them? She was like, what? I said, one of them cigarettes. She was like, what? When did you? I said, auntie, let me just get one. And I know it's a shock to a lot of y'all, but I was going through it so bad. So she gave me one, and I literally gave her the lighter back, and I just walked off, walking down the street. Right? I don't know how to smoke cigarettes, y'all. I was just, you know, inhaling it and blowing it out. I don't know. I don't even know how to smoke cigarettes. That's crazy, right? So I'm just walking down the street smoking a Newport cigarette, and like, man. See, when I was locked up, yeah, it was guys like Peanut running around, Peaches, Eddie, you know what I'm saying? All these, Lil Kim, all these dudes, right? But Strawberry. But when it's your own people, it hit different. When to see a loved one that you grew up with running the streets with, because I'm telling y'all, this was my cousin, this was my guy. And then for me to see him, 20-something years later, and he a whole homosexual, and I'm not even talking about the man type, he's the woman type. The way he changed his voice when that dude was like, who is this? Man. Listen, y'all, hey. So, I run into a couple of my old homies because my auntie never moved out of Settlers Grove. So, a couple of my old homies that I knew or whatever from the neighborhood, I see them or whatever. Everybody done got older. We all done got older and fat, right? So I'm talking to a couple of them, just catching up or whatever. We talking about life or whatever. And this dude named Roderick Porter, he was like, you talk to your cousin? You talk to your cousin? I said, who? He was like, Blake. I said, yeah, we just went to go visit him. He was like, oh, okay, well, he owed me something. I'm like, what you mean he owe you? He was like, yeah, man, he owed me some bread. I said, how he owe you some bread, man? This dude been locked up for 20 something years. He was like, no, man, we got something going on out here. And, I was just saying, I haven't had no communication with him in the last 2 weeks. I was like, oh, well, I mean, shit, I don't know. I don't know nothing about that. But, yeah, I seen him. I don't know. Well, I mean, what did he owe you? He was like, well, I had my girl bring in like condoms and, some tree and all that type of stuff. I said, condoms? He was like, yeah, they be selling that up in there. Now, I don't think Roderick knew that my cousin was, a homosexual. And 9 times out of 10, he was probably, he must have told him like, yo, I'm selling them, but he was really using them. I'm gonna tell y'all something, man. You don't know what's inside of you until you end up in a place like prison. I had no idea that my cousin was like this, y'all. No idea. No idea. I don't know when he changed. I don't know when he decided to go that way. I don't know. I mean, from his mouth, he said, this just how he want to live now. This is life. Okay, cool, whatever. That's his life. But a lot of you dudes out there committing crimes. I mean, just off the sake, if you like women and you still out here committing crimes that might get you taken away from the real world and put in these type of situations where you end up like my cousin, y'all better think about before y'all pick up that gun and go ride out. Y'all better go think about before you make that next drug sale that might be to an undercover officer. Yeah. You better think about that for you women beaters out there when you put your hands on your female for that last time and you knock her out or knock her unconscious or taking her life. Or you cats out there that like to drink and drive. Yeah. Oh, I'm just buzz driving. Buzz driving is still drunk driving. Y'all better be careful. Be very careful. Or you might end up like my cousin Blake. Oh, I'm sorry. My cousin Bella. Look, y'all. Today is May 31st, 2026. I have been doing faceless story times for the last 3-4 months now. I'm about to start coming back on camera. The next video that I drop will be dropped on Friday, this coming Friday at 9:30 a.m. Okay? This Friday, 9:30 a.m. I'm changing how I tell the stories. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be nothing like y'all ever seen before. I realize that I am, and let me say this again, some of y'all might disagree, some might agree with it, but I am the best storyteller in the last 2,000 years. I am that guy. I am that dude. Okay? Now, y'all can let me know in the comment section if y'all think somebody else is better than me to tell the stories. But if that is the truth, that there's somebody else that's better than me, put it in the comment section. But this Friday, when I drop at 9:30 a.m., Lord have mercy. Y'all gonna be like, yeah, Donta that guy. He that dude. Also, all this week though, I'm finna upload the what is that called? The compilations. So for the last, y'all know the compilation, what I do when I put like 10 stories on one video. I'm just going to upload the last 3 months, put them all together, and I'm going to drop them all the way up to Friday. All right. So this is for my people that's at work and I'm getting them through their 8 or 10 hour shift. My truck drivers out there. So starting Monday up to Thursday night, I'll be dropping them prison compilation stories, all right? So y'all stay tuned for that. With that, y'all, make sure y'all hit the like button if y'all haven't. Make sure y'all subscribe to the Patreon. That's where all my other content is at that y'all love and enjoy. With that, I'm out. I'll see y'all Friday.